All right there. I gotcha. I was blown away. I was absolutely blown away by the replies to my That's All Folks video. It would appear some people didn't watch it to the end, though, so it might have damaged my channel. There's a couple of people in there, including my man Alan. I might have to email him if he doesn't show up in the next couple of streams, who said congratulations. And a few other people did as well. I got a couple of personal messages on Telegram, people saying, well done, mate. I mean, I know it's not what you were looking for, but, you know, it might a bit of stability. And now, if you don't know what I'm talking about, I made a video. And I'll tell you what, I didn't intend to even do a joke. What I was trying to say was, what I was meant to say, what I intended to say was, it was meant to be a 2-minute video. Sorry I haven't been streaming. I've had internet problems. I've had Simon Webb problems. I've had problems. I've been working my ass off. I made a marketing video. It took me 18 hours, up all night, working into the morning. Nay, such a toy. They sold out of that product, though. Oh, yeah, in about 6 hours. I just thought I've got to make a video just to let people know that I'm aware that I haven't been streaming, because I do say I try and stream every day. Now, what happened, Brad, I don't know, Brad, he turns up in the chat occasionally. He emailed me and said, have you thought about getting teaching work? He said, if your business does go tits up, have you thought about maybe some teaching work rather than washing up back in England? And that was nice of him to think about me and make that suggestion. So that was already in my head, right? So that was in my head. And the second bit was, fair play to the Cambodian lads who might be watching this. So he said, hey, bong, it's Oxa by bong. They were round my house till about 9:45. They were here working. So I got the fibre optic internet. Right? Ooh, I didn't even have that in Soho. They can't dig up the roads in Soho because the whole of London gridlocks. And so even the media centre of England has got like Morse code internet. It's like a bloke. You get a knock at the door when you're on the internet in Soho. You get a knock at the door and a bloke arrives with a card and it says 1 on it. Then a couple of seconds later, you get another knock and there's a geezer with 0. And you get him up, you take him upstairs and you have like this internet feeder and you just put the 1s and 0s in. And, you know, after a few hours, you can receive an email saying, so it's lovely. And he got his computer out, plugged the Ethernet into, no, he didn't plug the Ethernet from the Wi-Fi. Bosh, 180 degrees, it weren't that hot. It was hot, but it weren't that hot. 180 megs per second download, 190 upload. I've never seen things like this. I've never been near. It was like, you know that bit in 2010 where if you're new here, no one is, I will get onto the subject and then rapidly divert away. Not really. I've got loads of clips lined up. We will dig into this a little bit. I've got some toxic masculinity to show you today as well, and I've got some funnies. You know that bit in 2001, A Space Odyssey? For one of the greatest films ever. It's a real kind of foot on the face of cinema when he throws the bone, which he realised that's tool making, isn't it? The monkey, is it a chimpanzee maybe? Simeon realizes that if he grabs hold of a bone, that's not a bone, that's a fan, a very effeminate fan. But because we had a power cut this morning, trust me, that is a lifesaver. Oh, darling. But he picks up a bone and he realizes he can smash skulls with it. And that is the start of the evolution of tools, of using external objects to improve your power. and he throws it up into the air. He's so happy. And they have that tear up with the other chimpanzees, monkeys, simians. There he is, Alan. Alan, bless you. Packer, I have seen yours, but I hope you'd understand. Alan, did you not watch that video to the end? Because it was a wind-up, mate, as I'm just explaining. But I'm so glad you're here, because a lot of people didn't watch it to the end and were congratulating me and saying, I'll miss your videos, but, you know, good luck in the new job and all that. And I was thinking, damn, this has backfired. Thank you for the Lady Godiva as well, Alan. And what an absolute relief to see you here. I'll just thank Picard as well, who's probably having the most wonderful weekend ever because his life's wicked. By life, I mean wife. Well worth stopping till the end. Old tune. Well, there was a payoff. I think occasionally you've got to play your best hand, and it is the old tune with some sexy Oriental women jumping around. That sometimes, you know, if you did sit through it, I think it was deserved. Thank you, Picard, for the 5-bit. Professor, there you go. I read all the comments. I haven't had time to record them because last night I was out on the lash. Miraculously, yesterday I had 2.5 drinks. 2.5. Felt very proud. It was fucked as well. Absolutely hammered. What did I went for the old fashioned? You know, the old fashioned. It's like a whiskey, a bit of orange peel in it. I don't know what. There's something else in it. But yeah, it goes down a treat, I tell you that. I'm not sure you meant to pour it out the bottle like that while he's talking to me. You like it strong? You want half a pint of whiskey in that? I'm a gin drinker. I'm a clear spirit drinker. You don't feel so bad, but good Lord. And the girlfriend's mate's having a party tonight, and the girlfriend wants me to go. I kind of think she doesn't want me to go, but I might just make an appearance so that I'm not the mystery boyfriend no one sees, the old man who doesn't come out. I might just go up there and go, yeah, pray for a buffet, get a bit of free food and come home and do a stream. Anyway, so when the internet boys were around here and he's shown me these incredible speed tests, he took a photo of them for proof, and it was all good. And then they left. I plugged in my Ethernet cable and all this, done a speed test, 90 megs download, 90 megs upload, which is still very good. But I thought, no, the business has paid for what he had on his computer. So I've run out on the road, literally sprinted. No! Got them back. They come back. Turned out I needed a new router because my router was too old. So they got me in. I got a new router, more money, and now I've got the most incredible. I've never had internet, and I'm sure people have got them faster. But I done a speed test, and I had 290 upload speeds, and it was something like 270, 280 download. Now, I would never download movies off the internet because it's not allowed. But imagine if I did and it took 72 seconds for a whole movie. And I like cinema, in your house. I like cinema in your house. And, it didn't take that long before, but an hour or two is the difference between, it's 2:30 in the morning, I watch a movie. If it's going to take a couple of hours to get hold of, suddenly it's 4:30 in the morning. But if it's going to take about a minute, wow, I feel like I've entered the future. I really have. So, got chatting to those boys, and he said at one point, "Can I borrow your light?" Now, if you look there's one of those round. Can you see it? There you go. One of those round TikTok sort of lights, center of the screen now, and another big light. Right, which is weird for a channel where you can barely see me. And he said to me, that was going down Ting Tong Alley there. I saw. He said, "You're a YouTuber." I said, "Yeah, I'm a YouTuber." He said, "You make money?" I said, "Not a lot, but it's nice to have some extra money." He said, "I said, I'll tell you what. There's no Cambodian channels. I don't see them. You know, I see people talking about Cambodia, but you know, I could teach you how to do it. I can show you how to set up a YouTube channel." And I was telling him about different bits and bobs. The pair of them sat down. It's now about 11:15 at night. I can't imagine they're being paid as well for all of that. I'll give them a little tip, but little being the key word. I didn't have a lot of real around. Ironic, really, that Cambodian money is called real. The dollar should be called fake at the moment. Cutting cultural analysis there. Oh, can you handle it on a Saturday? Thank you, Packer, for that 5 pit. Thank you for the pips. The 5 pips. Is that Sherlock Holmes? Sherlock? And thank you, Alan, as well. And then he said to me, "You're not." Hello, Nyanthos. Been a while, son. Hello, Doc Shelley. Raymond Piper RP. Lumi. I said 2001 the second time. I thought if I said them both, you know, one of them would be correct. Hello, Ludwig. First ever tool station. So the bone. So yeah, he throws his bone up in the air, and it's just a jump cut to the spaceship, and it was like that here. I felt like they'd thrown the internet at me, and it's been a different experience. It's been an absolute. So anyway, so he said to me, in Cambodia, you're not allowed to earn money from YouTube. And I said, oh. And then I thought, well, that's a bit bad. But then I found out that as a Cambodian citizen, that's the difference. And my account is registered in the UK. I looked into it all, obviously. So I've got that floating around my head. And I've got Brad suggesting I do a bit of teaching floating around my head. A few other things as well. My life's not that hollow. Not far off. So when I was going to just make a 2-minute video, because I knew I was going out and I thought I'd be more hungover today. So I thought there won't be any streams till Sunday. That's going to have been about 2 streams in 10 days. And I wanted to just reassure you, because you do keep coming back here. I thought I'd reassure you that if anything, my channel's going to grow. I'm going to start making a lot more standalone videos, blah, 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 blah. But as soon as I mentioned that bit about pretending to be a communist, that little cheeky part of me thought, hang on, and it just was, I just done it ad hoc. I obviously didn't script it. Someone in the comments, I can't remember who it was, they might be here now, actually noted something, because when I watched it back, it's too serious. Because even if that had happened, I would have made jokes about it. I would have veered off. If I was in that room and I'd have said, oh, I am a YouTuber as well, and then realised it was a mistake, I would have made jokes, but I wasn't. If you watch it again, I mean, who's going to? But if you were, you'll see that is the person who mentioned that nailed it, really, because it's like, hang on, this is acting, because it's not. There's elements of my natural personality missing. But yeah, I thought it'd be a laugh, and it's backfired terribly, and loads of people probably think that the channel doesn't exist. So there you go, Alan got it. Or maybe you left the message, Alan, during the video, and by the end of it, you got distracted by the dancing, shall we say? I've worked at universities. Nyanthos says, I knew it was a wind-up when you said a university. I've worked in universities, I'll have you know. I've lectured undergraduates, I'll have you know. Pags has got a touch of the vapors. Good Lord. You all right, son? I think it's on a clip you'll see today, actually. They gave out, the American government, the commies of America, they gave out billions to schools because the kids have got thick. This is not a joke. I think it's in one of the clips I've got. They've done all these tests on them because post-pandemic tests, and they're like 7 points down in reading and 5 points down in maths, which is massive. Apparently, you know, it's usually got a variation of +1 or -1, and it obviously is plummeted. I've seen other research that has said that kids who were born like a year before the pandemic or during it, they can't talk. Fucking hell. I mean, I laugh because it's terrifying. Because young kids, you know, they don't only learn by hearing, they learn by looking at the lips of the person talking. And if you've got a year, you know, kids don't even know where that fucking sound's coming from. Someone comes up to you and goes, hello, you looking big there. The kids just sort of like, what? Is that plant pot talking again? And, you know, there's teachers and carers saying that, and parents, obviously, saying that their children that they're bringing up have got the speech ability of a child mysteriously a year younger. I mean, you don't have many children, do you? And I can imagine if you had one or two, you'd love them and you'd want the best for them. And to have that stolen from them, that those years where their brains are like a sponge, you know, just, you know, and it might not be information, but that's setting the groundwork for your personality. That's setting your critical faculties. That's setting your ability to trust, your ability to read and write in the general sense, you know, your ability to witness something, especially other people's faces. You know, this will have long-term solutions. You can't undo that damage. You can't. You might be able to, you know, the next 2 or 3 years really educate them, you know, double the time in school or whatever, or really go for it. But you can't get back that time when the brain is, you know, it's setting itself up for the rest of its life. And I reckon these kids in 15, 16 years will be a dumb generation. And I mean that, you know, worse than the millennials, because they're not that bright, because they got shitted on. And if you as a parent decided to not, I mean, thankfully, I doubt as many people who said they did actually wore masks at home. I'm sure there was a lot of virtue signaling on that one, but really, I doubt it. You know, I'm sure some did, though. We all know those weird families who would do things like that, where the father's like a weird perv and wants to control the whole family, makes them sit around the table with their fucking space helmets on. But those kids were going to be fucked anyway. I don't mean, well, you know, we'll leave that there. So yeah, nice to be here. Sorry, it's been a while. I had a lot of work on saving the company. Doing all right with it as well. Got a lot of my novel done as well. But good Lord, Biden's speech. Now, the reason, as you know, I outright call the American administration communists, because I think they are. Pretty much everything they've done since they've had power is out of the communist playbook. This student loan thing, you know, you don't have to pay it back. What about all the students that worked 3 jobs to pay it back because they knew getting lumbered with a loan early in life is a catastrophe, really, on so many levels? What about the ones that have paid it back? Are they going to get it back? Are they going to get it back? Not only that, where does that, you know, this is such obvious communism. Where's all that money coming from? What is it, something like 40 billion? Where's that coming from? It doesn't grow on trees, Joe, unless you're farming weed or opium or something. Oh, you are actually in Afghanistan, which is why you left them the weapons to look after it. In Minecraft, I'm talking about, not the real world, because that would be ridiculous. There's obviously a more sensible reason why you'd leave all that military equipment in Afghanistan. You know, don't go using Occam's razor on it, or you'll cut your internet fingers. Oh God, that shot out of there. A bit quick out of the trap. Anyway, let's get a few more hellos in. Hello, Old Oak. Nice one for the 2-bit. Not sure if you'll forgive. No worries, Old Oak. I did. It was a bit naughty. It was a bit naughty. There's the old woman. Thanks for that 2-bond, Old Oak. Chris Dangerfield, full name terms, lovely. You can just call me sir. He's got to be on his best behaviour this weekend. It's Mrs. Picard's birthday tomorrow. I will be streaming tomorrow, so we'll do a special. I'll prepare something for your birthday tomorrow. I won't call it today, although you'll get a few simps saying happy birthday. They're typing it at the moment, like literally dribbling. But we'll do something tomorrow. But yeah, he has to be on. I know Packer enough to know he'll have sorted you something out. And if he hasn't, you got a couple of hours, mate. You might want to get in your motor, get into town. Oh, imagine that, being 21 again. It was the University of Khmer Knox. There you go, Zen. Good to see you, mate, as well. Hello, Emrys. How are you? Well, it's been a while for me too, so you haven't missed anything. Hello, Mousecat. 100 megs up or downloads, like having a 50. Well, I know what that's like. Not really. That would be weird. You know those blokes who've got those massive, like anomalous penises. You see them because they're a novelty. They can't keep them hard. They simply can't commit enough blood to it. You've got a spongiform underside, haven't you? Women, you don't have a spongiform underside. I don't know what's going on down there with women. Continual mystery to me. Although a missus did force me to, let's just say, have a late supper. There was no other action to be had. But that's so much information you did want. But yeah, they can't keep them going. Honestly, Mousecat, it's incredible. It's like a different world here. It's the internet. I've said for years that the internet doesn't really work, and I'm sure I'll still say that occasionally. But I am tuned in. I am plugged into the matrix. I'll show you. Do I really need to do this with a risk of? I think I put it up on my Telegram. Yeah, I don't really need to show you. Brag about my internet speeds. Go on, look at that. The LORMF, just there you go. That's what I've done. Vincent, nice to see thee. JP, Dub Power, Crow Magnon, the boy Cray. He's always with his kids doing something, which isn't a problem. It's an amazing thing. On the beach with the kids, swimming and metal detecting, not at the same time. Although you might be onto something there, the old waterproof metal detector. Yeah. Well, yeah. When I went on holiday with a mate, I have told this before, but I'll do it quick. We will get onto the Biden speech because we have to. It was terrifying. Did you see the 1984 dystopian aesthetics of it? It's like, let's not forget they're blue, aren't they? They're blue, but they got some clever people in to make that image. Why would you risk that red backdrop when you're blue? They're blue, aren't they, out there? That's how it works. The opposite to the UK. And they when you're fighting for the soul of the nation. What was her name? Lenny Reinstoll or something. Pax Max will know. More people than Pax Max will know. But it was triumph of will stuff. It really was. It was a fucking terrifying speech. Andy Mack, thank you, mate. Machano Capuchinata Tutti. Why isn't it showing? The sweet sound of dial-up. Do you remember it? I had dial-up. I actually had it. My mate, who's still a mate, he lent me a computer. I begged it off him. I was going, please let me. I went round his house and it blew my mind. This was in 2004 or something. And I remember getting it home. And at that time I was a stay high and all the stoners I knew, which was a lot, I could tell immediately that the stay highs and the internet were going to be a thing. They were going to merge and become one. There'll come a time where The human body and the computer aren't distinct entities. You're just part of the system, and it was the stay highs that were going to be the first, and it that's 4chan. It's just a joke. Don't fuck with the chans. Yeah, they all come around. I'll never forget my mate Dan. He said, "So how's it work? What you do?" I said, "Well, it's like a library." I said, "It's like a library, but there's everything on it, not just books. You can search for things. You can surf the web." And he typed in to, what was it? I think it was Lycos or something. Remember Lycos? Go get it, Lycos. It was a dog, like a Yorkshire Terrier, I think. Go get it, Lycos. And he typed into the search bar, which, don't forget, pre-Google, on homepages, there'd be propaganda everywhere. Like, read this, gossip here and there. Actually, her tits have exploded, her legs have fallen off here and here. And there'd be a tiny... Right, so this is the screen, yeah? The TV. Steady on, old boy. How's the wireless going? This is imagine this is the page, because it is. The search bar would be there, and it would be just about 2 words long, really. Like it was an afterthought. They honestly thought they were going to run the show. It was weird. Oh, yeah, you can look around, but what? Why do you want to look around the internet? Look at all this stuff we've got. We've already chosen for you. And again, that is of no surprise, because that's what the culture industry does. It pre-digests its own object. It pre-digests culture, chews it up, and gives it to you. You don't have to think about it. Just get it down, yeah. It's already partially eaten food, essentially. And the search bar really was an afterthought. It was a tiny little bit here. It was only Google. I tell you what, Google nearly didn't win that race. There was another one, All the Web. One in the chat, or just say, yeah, I remember All the Web. But there was another one called All the Web that worked on a very similar process to Google. And it was just a search bar. And Google was just a search bar, and it changed everything. But anyway, in this Lycos search bar, my mate Dan typed, "Show me the most disgusting photo you've got." Now, apart from the fact that it's kind of predictable, it's weird to think that, I mean, how old must we have been then? Fuck me. About 30, but to think that that's how you would engage with the internet. Show me the most disgusting photo you've got. Weirdly, it kind of works. It sent us to Rotten, I think. Do you remember rotten.com? It was the first bad boy website of the internet where you'd go there and it'd be like, photo of a kid whose head exploded. You'd be like, yeah. Nice one, Andy. Yes, and for sure, the sweet sound of dial-up. I can remember needing some nudie pics because I was whacking the crack, and I thought, God, I need some porn. And so I'd set off about 40, and you just have to go out and do. This is for pictures. You'd have to go out or do something else, like wash up some more, go and sell some. We've all been crack dealers. Come on, let's just be honest. And then you'd come back like 3 hours later. You wouldn't have even seen a thumbnail, so you don't really know what you're getting. And that was that. It wasn't great. JCav is over there on Twitch. Hello there. We're all over on YouTube, but my boy Jays might be there. You're Joshua Kavanagh. Interesting. Oh, I see. You're just choosing to watch on Twitch. Hello, VC. Liam's pulled the rug out, talking about low latency. Got all that as well. I got a ping of 2. Is that a good ping? Mousecat's got it, but he doesn't use any of it. Yeah. Well, this is what people have been saying to me, but I don't care. I don't care. I've really, really struggled. Dub Powell's got 56 killer, but no, you haven't. I do remember ISDN, yes. Hello, Tej. Good to see you. Andy Crosshatch, Corona. It's interesting. It's an interesting decision they've made. You know, when I told my missus, she was like, why? And that's a complicated conversation to have, isn't it? But I thought, Hello, Marsh. Good to see you. Raise machines on the firm. Right, let's just jump into this. I will say some hellos to people. Hello, what's her name? Hello, Snoopy. Lulu's on the firm. It's fuck the teenagers too. They hate crowds and busy places. You know, that's what you want out of life, don't you? You want people. We're social creatures. They've done a job on us, haven't they? Fuck me. And watching Biden's speech, which we will get onto, I've got all the clips here. No. Don't do that. Don't act like that. Hello, Mike the Mank. Arsenal playing you tomorrow. Project Veritas shows just how bad this cancer is. Yeah, they're good, but isn't it weird that you can name the opposition? Because you need lawyers, you need funding. It's very rare that you're allowed to actually do much about it anymore. I thought that I watched Biden's speech and I found it terrifying. I've been saying on this channel for a while that there's no way any opposition will fight this election unless they're completely sure it can't be. I've got to be careful here because it's the nature of the environment, the platform, should I say. Unless, and there's no point fighting it unless you can be sure that it's fair. Let's just say that. During that speech, for the first time, I started questioning the likelihood of a fair election. I'm not talking about propaganda, because that's standard for the government in power, especially communist ones. I mean the actual processing of votes. I can't go too far down that rabbit hole because I'm striked up. But just the lies in Biden's speech, the lies, the politics. Politics exists. Politics were created so that people could debate. People could debate about how to run. Well, at the time, the polis was Greek society, and it was so that you could make decisions without going to war. But you need the other side there for that. That kind of speech should not be political. What's his name? John Kennedy, is it? As you'll see in a minute, he said that Biden missed an opportunity. If he was actually a president and a fair president who cared about the United States of America, he'd have used that platform to, I don't know, maybe try and unify, maybe even try and explain what he's going to do about the fucking mess that they've got the United States into. But no, it was a political debate without an opponent, and that's just not on. It was name calling. I mean, it was essentially Hillary Clinton calling Trump supporters deplorables spread over 24 minutes or whatever it was. It was just name calling. And the mad thing about it was, and it's a fundamental of advertising a not very good product, is you just invert it. You just say, if it doesn't do what it's meant to, you just say that it does. He he outlined the Democrat Party. He tried to make the Republicans look like a party that had a small faction of, what did he call them? Half fascists, semi-fascists. I mean, I don't quite know how you'd be a semi-fascist, because fascism is an idea where you're stronger as a group. The logo of fascism is it's wheat bound together, because then you can't snap it. How are you half a fascist? What, you're disabled or something? You ain't got any legs. Is the Republican Party dominated by a lot of people in wheelchairs? Who happen to like Benito? Peculiar. So yeah, my taking from it was tyrannical as hell. The aesthetics were, it wouldn't have been out of place in The Wall, in Pink Floyd's The Wall, which is a disgusting teenage angst. Okay, Roger, we get it, kind of thing, but it certainly had that look about it. We'll watch that bit in a minute where the red light just comes in. Doom comes upon us. And that is ballsy as fuck, because, the Republicans are the Reds, not the Reds as in the Bolsheviks. Not another dumb generation. Yeah. We're racking them up a bit, aren't we? But hello, Dawn. How nice to see you. I am a little bit. I was on the lash last night, which I tend to talk a lot more than everyone around me wants as well. Even when they've all gone, I'm still talking. I'm still chatting away. That wouldn't surprise me in the least, actually. I mean, they fully supported the BLM riots. I mean, didn't something like 20 black people get killed and no one's been held to account? No one. Just, and they are indeed. I mean, Marx and Engels used the words socialist and communist interchangeably, not always, which kind of confuses it. And you'll get some orthodox Marxists will tell you that socialism is part of the transition period to communism. Well, what? So it's part of the process to communism. So it's communism. Okay, I get it. I heard some ridiculous leftard on the internet once say that socialism is communism without the bad bits. Well, communism without the bad bits, there's nothing left. It's hideous. It's hideous. And they're doing it, just giving away other people's money. Imagine being that truck driver who doesn't get to see his wife and kids for like weeks on end, and works 18-hour days driving. Just drive. You get the odd bit where you get to go, I want to go over, rubber duck, pick a window, how many candles you're burning, the sex, age, location, see you in a minute, bye, and all that lark. But when he gets home and he switches on the telly and he finds out that his taxes are going to paying off all those kids that went to university. He didn't send his kids to university. He couldn't afford it. But all those other people who sent their kids to university because, they didn't need them to get jobs to help put food on the table like his kids did. Shocking. You're paying for that now, mate. You're paying for all those kids from rich families, usually well-off families, or minorities, of course, which they don't need to score as high, so they get in. They fail the final exams, of course, and you can look that up. That's not me being an arsehole. That's how ridiculous the system is. But yeah, and like I was saying earlier, if imagine you're one of those people that paid off that debt, are you getting your money? Our poor families, our poor working class families, now going to be offered that money to go to university? They might have chosen. Maybe you grew up on a farm and you went to your old man, Dad, I want to go to university and read English literature. And your dad said, I want to fuck Miss World. But you see that 20 acres of wheat out there? Yeah, we need to get that cut by the weekend. Get in that combine harvester and read a book when you get home. Are they going to now have another chance to go to university and be told that they won't have to pay their fees or something? Because what has happened there is a filtering. Everyone who could afford to go to university and take on a debt went, and those that couldn't didn't. But now the goalposts have been changed. But the people that chose not to have been fucked over, and now they're older. It's just that's unfair. It's unfair. It filters out a different class of people, and then the debts are paid off by working people's taxes. This is communism. This is communism. You're giving away money that doesn't belong to you or them, and in the end, everyone ends up skint and they eat each other. And that might have sounded a bit blasé, a bit flippant to drop that in at the end, but that has happened in every single communist situation. Certainly your big guns, certainly out here, certainly China, certainly the Soviet Union, they ate each other. They ate dead babies and things. Yeah, it works well. And I know I smash this one all the time, but without free market, you cannot. And without the free market, you cannot regulate value, because the free market is what regulates value. And if you don't know the value of your resources, how do you plan long term? Now, you could argue that because it's socialist and not communist, well, there is a free market in the US. Well, that still exists. You can go places and buy things, but in the example of paying off the student loans, can you see how that corrupts value? Suddenly, certain markets are corrupted by things like that. When certain people are allowed in and given houses and given phones and given God knows what grants, that corrupts the value of the free market. It's a real mess out there. And I've been really, really optimistic about the midterm red wave. Red wave is an understatement, about the red drowning. Like, is they're going to get that country and put it in a pot of bright red, blood red dye, and it will come out dripping of the stuff. But after seeing that speech and realizing, perhaps naively, realizing that, the depths they're going to go to. And I'm not naive in terms of people wanting to hold on to power and how much they absolutely hate Trump. And with things they've done to him since he left the gig, if he gets back in power, he'll tear this the problems he will cause the old guard, the elites, the party of Davos, etc., globalism, they cannot tolerate it. They won't survive that. And so I wouldn't be surprised if he disappeared. I'm trying to be careful with my words, but I wouldn't be surprised if one day you turn on the news and, car accident. I've got to be really careful what I'm saying, but that wouldn't surprise me at this stage. Anyway, on that dire note, hello Dillich, good to see you. It's coming, mate, November, but you can read the teasers on Substack, link in the description. Oh yeah, no, that's a good point. Cro-Magnon says he didn't watch the speech, but he watched some response videos, and he thought that read, because they put a little tash on him, didn't they? But no, that's fully legit. As you'll see when I show you, we'll go through a little bit of the actual speech. It's like a red sort of, dare I say, wave, sort of washes across like, bomb. And this is all choreographed. They would have paid. I wouldn't put it past a couple of mil for the people to choreograph that. The whole appearance of it all, the way Dr. Jill comes out holding him up. No, it was quite the striking thing. But he basically, for the whole speech, apart from a couple of strange anomalies where he actually went for a little dig, he defined his own party. He defined his own party and his own ideas. It was quite something, you know. And that's what I meant about Marcus just doing the opposite. It's not that the Republicans have got this neo-fascist element that dominates them. No, it's that the Democrat Party is dominated by a little group of progressives, communists, we call them, and that's the actual state. He just said, no, that's them. But again, a debate without an opposition. That's why it was political. It should not have been political. Should not have been. And it just was. Hello, Lost Reaper. No, it's a pleasure to be here, mate. It's going to take a lot more than all the things I've fucked up to get me off here. Picard, the boy and I will be shopping after this. There you go. He's letting us all know. Use your head a bit, Picard. Come on, don't come back with a box of chocolates, or I'll come up there and smack your bum. Steady. Nice one, Packer. Appreciate it. RP, as you promoting spongy form underside. you don't want a 15-inch long spongy form underside though, Raymond. That'll be terrible. Thank you, mate. Appreciate it. Well, there you go. That's what I'm saying. That's the invention. That was a story I was about to tell you. When I went on holiday with a mate as a kid, we were about 11. It was a nasty holiday as well, man. His family turned out to be all very dysfunctional, wife-beating alcoholics. Not what I expected at all. A lot of real hatred of the children, you know, and his uncles and their children, his cousins. A very scared and hostile holiday environment. When he asked me if I wanted to go on holiday, I got conned as well. He sat down and he said to three of us, right, me, Jason, and Darren. I won't give you their full names. And he said, right, we're going on holiday to California. And my mum and dad said I can take one friend. And I thought, I'm in. I'll work this. You know, kids like, he was basically saying, so who's my best friend and who's going to show it? And I thought, fuck me, holiday in California. Now, obviously, now I'd go, no, you can keep your California. But at 11, I just thought of surf and skateboards. And 3 days later, he made his decision, Dangerfield, and I was like, California, amazing. Turned out to be California Parks, a caravan site in Great Yarmouth. Let me see if it still exists. That'll be hilarious. I'll show you a photo. It might be California Heights, actually. California Great Yarmouth. Let's just try that. California Beach. Yeah, look, California Beach is in Great Yarmouth. California Beach near Great Yarmouth. So it was like California is a small village which merges with Scrapby on a coast of glorious stretch of sandy beach. Well, maybe so, but it weren't California, America. And his family, they every day, 11 o'clock in the morning, vodka. You shut the fuck up. Get out, kids. Who I fucking told you? And I was like, whoa. We were pretty much left to our own devices, including trying to feed ourselves. Thanks for the holiday. But when me and him, the mate, the son, my mate, we were down on the beach, he put his ring, he had like a gold ring, in his plimsoll sort of thing, so that he didn't lose it, and he lost it. And I remember his face just all the colour drained out of it. I was like, what's up? He said, I've lost my fucking ring. And I looked, I said, well, where was it? He said, well, I put it in my plimsoll, but while we were out in the sea, I thought I forgot that it was my ring. I thought it was like a bit of like a pebble or something, so I sort of just oofed it out. I was like, oh shit, and he just started crying. He went, my dad's going to fucking kill me. He's going to fucking kill me. And having seen his dad, yeah, he would have battered him. And so stupidly, I've gone, should we look through it? Like, the tide's coming in and out. We'd been playing, and like, how long ago did you do that? He said about 40 minutes. I was like, shit. And so we just sort of, I just thought we were trying, first point for kids is what lie? Skinheads. It will be skins. Some skinheads come and took it. I said that when I broke my skateboard. I used to go down East Hill on my skateboard, which is a main road in Dartford, just on my back like a luge. Cars would just have to stop or run over a kid or stop. So, and one car decided not to, and I've had to edge over the pavement, and I've hit the pavement, rolled onto the pavement, and the skateboard's gone under the car. Bang! Only one of those little plastic things that look like a fish. But it snapped it in half. And although my old man wasn't going to batter me, it was still a bit, they bought me that and I've snapped it in half. What am I going to say? Skins. Mum, Dad, skinheads. They come and they said, give us your skateboard. He took it off me and snapped it with his bare hands. Oh, and then my dad, Karen Downing's old man, Pete, Joe, oh no, let's not get a street posse together. Me and Karen, because Karen was the bird I was with on the skateboard. Me and her were just looking at each other thinking, oh, this is getting out of hand a bit. Oh, they done like a search party going around the estate looking for the skins. I remember thinking, I hope they don't find any. Imagine just two teenagers with cropped hairs and crombies. Oi! Just all the old men just laying it. Well, they wouldn't have been that old. They would have been like 30, 35, just beating up a couple of teenagers. You have to buy my son a new skateboard. What do you mean? They wouldn't have been much older than me. We didn't tell them, though. We let them go for their walk. And they come back and went, nah, no one's out there. And I was like, thank fuck for that. Bought me a new skateboard as well. Ouch. Oh, the lies, the horror. So we were going to go that route, and then suddenly I went, is that it? And just as the water sort of went back, there was a little bit of gold sticking out of the sand, and he ran across. It was it. Now I'm not taking credit for finding his ring. Steady. It weren't that kind of holiday. That's quite remarkable, isn't it? Like 40 odd minutes that ring had been tossing around in the ocean. And he found it. I remember his face. He was so happy. And I was like, excellent. At least I'm not going to have to watch my mate get the shit kicked out of him. That's a good thing. That is a good thing. And we got drunk that night. As kids, we stole a bottle of vodka, if I remember rightly, and celebrated. And went into a sauna with two girls that were about 19. Can you imagine when you're 11? These two, they were fucking hot as well. Oh. Well, they're in a sauna, so they were very, very, very hot. That's the way it goes. Chris PT, VC, DB, LEC. Hello, James. There you go. There's always legs falling off. You know how it works. You know what? I think actually, Pags, that let me get a bit of light so you can see me. Hang on. It won't improve the experience of the stream, but well, it might. Who knows? I've had my hair cut. Not my beard, though. Look at it. It's looking good, huh? Yeah. Bit of that, yeah. I think smashed mashed potatoes are actually a very good sort of symbol of the culture industry in many ways. I remember me and a mate once were trying to work out how you could reverse engineer processed foods back to their original state. So you could get smashed mashed potato, make it with not enough water so it was more like a dough, roll it, and you've got potatoes. Potato-ish. Processed peas, much the same trick. Remash them, dry them off a little bit, roll them. I don't know, maybe, I don't know how you'd get the outside bit on them, but you've remade your peas. Get a bit of few rashers of bacon, just push them together. A little pork cutlet. Okay, think about it, but don't do it. Hello, Mark. 5 out of 5. Man poo tomorrow. It certainly was hideous, but yeah, it was a really weird place then, wasn't it? Dave Chappelle on one of the Chappelle shows, he does this bit where he goes into the internet as if it was the real world. If the internet was like the real place, and as soon as he opens the door, like it says the internet or something, he opens the door and goes in there. First thing is this woman in bondage gear with like 2 goats. He's like, oh no. Then Ron Jeremy comes out. And of course, the internet is the real world now with Meta. Let's just have a look at that image. Let's just get that up. It's so funny. What's his name? Zuckerberg. I'm glad I can spell Eiffel Tower, but not Zuckerberg. I mean, it's so funny. He'd done this whole, I think it was some kind of op-ed, or some release about how amazing the metaverse is going to be. We'll have a look at the prices. We'll have a look at the prices of real estate on the metaverse in a minute, because that story's not standing up to the scrutiny, not standing up to the story they told. So he gave out all this blurb about how amazing the metaverse is going to be. And Mark, I'm not buying it. I've never had it. They've been trying to push virtual reality for decades now. Before the internet, they were promoting virtual reality. Put your headset on. Look at that symbol of someone blinded, flailing around in a real world they can no longer see, just trying to get a bit of tit. The metaverse will succeed in as much as it will be the most ghastly places you can ever imagine. This will be where, it will be like the underground of underground of underground. If you think the darknet had some dodgy areas, the metaverse is going to be, and that's the only part it will succeed, because they're the only people that need it. Things don't do well unless they solve a problem, unless they supply a need. Now, pedos, drug dealers, that'll do, perverts, they need places like the metaverse. Lonely people who cannot communicate in real life, they need the metaverse. So you start getting a picture of the kind of people who are going to inhabit it. Whereas the rest of us, already atomized, already community-less, already largely family-less, or certainly extended family. Oh yeah, my granddad, we see him once every couple of years. Oh no, I've got cousins, but we're crying out for in real life communities. We're crying out for connection. So the metaverse is sort of like, here's more of what you've already got that you don't want any more of, that you didn't even want, the reduction in socializing that we fed you. Here's more of it. Do you want it? Okay, no worries. And then after the Borg had promoted it and told everyone about how amazing it's going to be, he himself, because the metaverse is perfect for Zuckerberg, it's perfect for him because he's disliked. No, people don't like him, and he knows that all his friends are only there for the cash. He's not a nice person. He's done damage to society. He's worked as a propaganda arm for the communists of America. He worked. The FBI turned up at Facebook and said, can you please not put anything out there about the Biden laptop before the election? And he went, oh yeah, okay, sure. That's not how it works, is it? So it's made for someone like him. And then he put this image out. Come on. I mean, oh, you sold it to me. I know we looked at this the other week, but it's too good. It's too good. Imagine that. Look at it. Where do I sign up? Where do I sign up to make sure I never go in there? Is there some way we can not be part of it? Alan, oh my God, what an horrible analogy. Biden was starting the night of the long knives. You're not. That's fantastic. It was like that, wasn't it? He was saying fear Republicans because look at it. That we are fighting for the soul of our nation. No, you've already that's already panned. Your opposition, Joe. Your opposition stands a chance of recreating it. No, that's a great call, Alan, and put a shiver up my spine as well. Nice one for the donation, Afrasha Kanatu. Hello, Cobweb Collector. Someone else on Twitch over there. Nice to see you. I stream daily. We only have 2 or 3 people watch on Twitch. We're all over on YouTube, but it's nice that you give it a go. That Night of the Long Knives. If people don't know, go and check it out. Go and check out what Alan's talking about. Look, Jay Cad's still over there. They use projection as their main tactic of attack. It allows them to introduce a concept to soften up the populace for when they behave exactly the same way and pretend to play by the accused rules, which are originally theirs. That, you know what, Jacob, that's exactly what I was saying. You know, that was why it was a conversation, a debate without an opposition. They're prepping what they know is going to happen come the midterms. The FBI have said they're not going to press any charges or release information about any potential charges on Trump until after the midterms. Now, if they had anything on Trump, that comes out immediately. You don't let that out before the midterms, no? You don't rubbish the leader of the opposition before the midterms. They've got nothing. They've got nout. No, we're saving that till after the midterms. Why would you do that? Why? It doesn't make any sense. That's their way of saying we've got nothing. We might make something, but it's not going to stand up to much legal scrutiny. So, we're just going to leave it till, I don't know, maybe September, November, December sometime. Yeah, fuck off. I mean, that was terrifying enough, that them just rocking up at his house and let's get in there. Charlie Sparkles loses her voice after a night out. Steady. Miss Dangered. Right, let's hello MacDougall. Good to see thee. There you go. Cobweb Collector, who's new on the firm, says he's talking to old JCav over on Twitch. He says, "What's up? I just walked into this. How's it going? I'm not sure what's going on here in the stream, man." It doesn't matter. Hello, Emma. Right. Let me just zoom down there. I thought I saw a 10-bit. Did I? Oh, there it is. Look. DB. Thank you, Dawn. That's very kind. Do you put your access to education down to communism? No, I put it down to capitalism. But without a doubt, you know, I had to pay for it. I had to pay. I had to pay my tuition. I had a student loan debt. They just happened to teach me, turn me into a communist, which was nice. It's fucking shocking. Absolutely shocking. Thank you for that $10, Dawn. Lovely to see you here as well, as always. Hello, Ralphie. Right, let's before we get into this Biden having a look at some responses and things, let's have a look at the prices of real estate on the Metaverse. Hang on. I know where I can grab it because I showed it to a mate the other day rather than having to find it. Shouldn't take too long on my new internet and WhatsApp. Connect. Look at that. Boom. Amazing. Everyone else here who's had decent internet for years is like, what's he so happy about? Hang on, let me show you this. He was telling me he was going to buy some real estate in the Metaverse. I sent him that photo of of the Borg. I said, "Do you really want to buy property here?" Oh, why have I still got that crappy film up? The Last Duel, not recommended. We had a power cut here this morning, so it was down to films I'd not downloaded to watch, and I had The Last Duel on. Fuck, I don't even remember downloading it, and it was jank, absolutely rubbish. It had like a Sith Lord or something. Yeah, have a look at this. This is they've kind of shut up about it because when the prices on the Metaverse were booming, everyone was talking about it, but it seems they've seemed to have gone very quiet. I can't imagine why. Right here, have a look at this. Can you see all of that? So the left-hand side, right, average price per parcel of virtual land, and you can see it goes from 21 to 22. Now look at it. Total monthly trading volume on 6 major platforms. Blah blah blah. All you really need to see, right, is this bit here and this bit here, or this bit here and this bit here. I've made it a bit too big. Can you see the bottom? So it's 21 to just January 22 and onwards to June. Look at it. Yeah. I mean, it looks like a rug pull. I mean, it won't be, but no. As soon as those prices went up, everyone sold. Hello, Hooper. Good to see you. There you go. It's ridiculous. I would not be putting any money near that. I mean, I know someone here said that they bought a bit of land next to Snoop Dogg and made a few quid, but I fucking hope, I can't remember who said it, but I hope you sold it while you could, because that's going to be worth nil. We'll see. I mean, I just don't see the Metaverse taking off. I just never had. Right, we'll start with some professional race baiters, because you'll recognise our friend here, Eli Mistal. He's a terrible figure, but I think you'll understand the bit I'm getting at. Have a look at this. I've really got to put my headphones in so that I don't have to keep muting myself. I hope these are charged. Give me a couple of seconds, people. And Bluetooth. Danger pods. Where's the old danger pods? Paired. Connect. Blah. Blah. There it is. Right, we should be good. Have a look at this. So this is MSNBC, right? If you don't know Eli Misstyle or Ellie Misstyle, you've probably seen him before. Certainly if you're someone who watches this channel. But yeah, he's the fella on the right. He has had his pathway just open for him. I mean, what's it called? Affirmative action all the way, and it still talks about how racist America is. So I've got to be a little bit careful, but check out this interview from MSNBC. It's incredible. Here we go. I'll just do an audio check. Hang on, I'll take it back a bit and do an audio.
Here.
There you go. Did you even go, hello, Glenn. Don King with a comb, perhaps. Hello, I do not bend to power. You new here. Nice to see you. Oh, I recognise that avatar, though. Lulu Packer, thank you. Right, check it out. Check it out. Here we go. So they're talking about the, look at the ticker at the bottom. Biden, we have to protect and defend democracy. Eh? Go.
The sort of wedge approach, right? That's the key point here is like Popular Front coalition in defense of American democracy against its enemies, who are a sizable but minority faction.
Right. Already, they are three things that the Biden administration hasn't done anything for. They've done everything against them. What? Protection from our enemies. America's never been weaker. They're reliant on OPEC for oil. Now, admittedly, if it came to it, they could start producing their own. But if it did come to it, you know, they already were producing their own. They were selling it. They were selling energy. Biden fucked all that off. Now, put Western Europe into the power grip of Russia, and put America at licking at the knees of OPEC. It's just ridiculous. And don't talk to me about democracy when you send in the FBI around Trump's house. It's bullshit. And here's the thing that really gets me. They know they're lying. These people know they're lying. The news anchor does it for a job. He's a soulless shell of a man. He knows he probably slumps into work after another impotent night with his missus, slumps into work and says, oh, what bullshit that I know's not true. And then he's just like, just think of the money, I can retire in a couple of years. Whereas the race baiters, oh no, they don't support Biden. They hate him. He's a white man. That kind of grinds a little bit. But what they do support is the destruction of the United States of America. What they do support is a financial, economic catastrophe in America. What they do support is a borderless America. So Biden's their man. The Democrats, the United States of communism, they're their people because they know what communism does to nations. They know that it brings it to its knees in a few short years. And that's why they support it. But check out, you're gonna love stroke, hate this, but old Mr. Al, he never lets you down. The bird's kind of meh, but check it out.
American life. How effectively do you think he did that?
Well, I think he made the choice.
Right, they're talking about Biden's speech. Sorry, unless I didn't make that clear enough.
Very stark and clear. He did two things, I think, in his speech, which one was to say, I'm not talking about all Republicans, I'm talking about MAGA Republicans, and making that distinction, because what he was saying is those who oppose rights, those who oppose the rule of law, those who believe in the big lie that there's election fraud.
She's actually talking about a group of Republicans, the ultra MAGA. They oppose the rule of law. No, the MAGA crowd are absolutely about law. This is insane. But again, it doesn't need to be about the truth because they want America destroyed. Hang on, isn't it the Democrat states that defunded the police? Isn't it the Democrat states that took money off the police and gave it to Black Lives Matter? Isn't it the likes of Portland that's just a fucking shooting zone? Antifa shot two of their own a couple of days back. You know, no one should get shot, but if it's going to be anyone, so I've got to be so careful. So this is just madness. And she's a bright bird, this woman. She knows she's lying. This is acting. This isn't her responding. This is theatre. That's what this is, theatre. But trust me, you will not be let down.
And therefore want to win when they've lost and violently take over the country is actually what we're fighting against.
Hang on. So this idea that people said that Biden didn't win. Yeah, loads of people did. Loads of people made accusations. Oh, hang on, haven't a few courts found that to be the case as well? Isn't there loads of visual evidence of people turning up at the same ballot and just keep putting it all in? Hasn't that actually gone through several courts? How did the Democrat supporters and the Democrats accept Trump's victory? Did they just all say, yeah, this is fair and legit? Was that just accepted? Or was he impeached? Did they try and impeach him when he wasn't even president? Was there Russia collusion? I mean, and then this idea This idea of this violent, what did she say? This violent, to turn it over. She's talking about when 30 people were walked around the Capitol building. I mean, yeah, this is what we're fighting, people. Yeah, a bloke with a fucking pair of horns running around the Capitol building. I mean, how are they going to cope?
And I think that is a recognition that there's a majority of the country that understands that's wrong and that's bad. And at the same time, I found it fascinating that while he made references to race, he made references to equality, to the fight for abolition in part of that speech, that so much of the big lie was actually driven by white ethno-nationalism.
Yeah.
When we're talking about white...
Well, what? Hang on. Did we see the same speech? I saw like a Darth Vader sort of 1984 terrifying example of tyranny. But now she's talking about ethno-nationalism. I mean, that's a threat to America, isn't it? I mean, that all you see are well, I suppose there's Richard Spencer and no, that's it. No. What's his name? Who does the Daily Stormer? But she's just opened up the channel. Wait for the tsunami to come in. Mr. here, he sat at home and thought, well, actually, I won't spoil it. You know what's coming. Though.
White supremacy, we're talking about what has driven the lie, which is the fear of the fact that we are a plural democracy.
He did use the term white supremacist once towards the end and did mention.
What? Hang on. How did we get here so quickly? There you go. That's the other fella, Andrew Anglin. There's no bridge from what she was saying to what her conclusion. Her conclusion was white supremacy, which didn't feature in the triumph of will. Biden's speech that we saw the other day. And it's amazing. We've got to have it again. There's more. Don't worry. You will be sated. The anchor even goes, no, he did use the magic word. No, he did cast the spell. This is what these people do. Just say white supremacy. And there's a bit of me that's actually glad that they can now say it. The amount of times I've seen these people say, well, there's too much white supremacism, because they don't know what they're talking about. But check out the anchor. No, he did. He did say the spell. He did cast the spell. And she goes, yes, white anchor. Yes, well done. Yes, look, check it out again. Just the way he gets it. And she just goes, yeah, this is our country now. Yeah, settle down, sir. Check it.
He did use the term white supremacist once towards the end and did mention which I...
Yeah, I don't...
Right, now, Eli Mistal is a race grifter. And he sat at home and he thought, now, I've got to cast the spell. I've got to get the magic word in. How can I get that? How can I get the magic words in? How can I cast the spell? And I mean this. It's like a spell. If you can say words and have them change things in the real world, you're a magic user. These are spells. Check out the sentence where he manages to get white supremacy in 3 times in one sentence. And it doesn't mean anything. It's just boom, boom, boom. Okay. That's all. That's the only reason they're there. Let's get some people of color on. Let's get them on. Let's talk white supremacy, because why not? Why not, eh? Check it.
I don't know who it's not all Republicans, just MAGA Republicans are for. Like, I'm sure that there are some white supremacists who will vote with white supremacists who don't think they're white supremacists.
That's incredible. I'm quite impressed with him there. Who's he talking about? What is he talking about? That's mind blowing. Let's have it again. Here we go. I'll let it play on, but it's impressive stuff. You know, that's impressive stuff. Got to hand it to him. That's impressive. Here we go.
Yeah, I don't know who it's not all Republicans, just MAGA Republicans are for. Like, I'm sure that there are some white supremacists who will vote with white supremacists who don't think they're white supremacists.
Right, hang on. Let's just break that down a bit. I'm sure. Well, hang on. Let's just so that we get this right, just so we can actually pretend to know what he's talking about. Hang on.
Yeah, I don't know who it's not all Republicans, just MAGA Republicans are for. Like, I'm sure that there are.
Right. So far, I haven't got a clue what he's talking about, and I mean that. I mean, if you can help me out with what he meant, then crack on. But let's stick with the main line.
There are some white supremacists who will vote with white supremacists who don't think they're white supremacists.
Right. There are some white supremacists who will vote with white supremacists who don't think they're white supremacists. There are some white supremacists who will vote with. What is voting with? You vote for someone, but vote with. I think the point he's making is unless you're a communist, you're a white supremacist. That's all he can possibly be saying. It's peculiar. Yeah, I'll play it through now.
Yeah, I don't know who it's not all Republicans, just MAGA Republicans are for. Like, I'm sure that there are some white supremacists who will vote with white supremacists who don't think they're white supremacists. We're happy that Biden didn't call them a white supremacist, but like, it's not for me. What was for me, and you mentioned this already, but this is, I think, a really great bit, where he says to the heckler, that dude, that man, that person from the other side is entitled to be outraged.
Totally.
And that.
Right. So if you haven't seen the speech, while Biden's talking, there's some fella over the fence somewhere who's got himself some kind of loudspeaker, right? And he's just shouting. And Biden at some point says he's allowed to do that, right? He's allowed to do that. Yeah, because it's not affecting anything. Get another 30 of them. Oh, they'll be chucked in the back of. I wouldn't be surprised if that bloke wasn't a stooge. If they actually got someone to shout, it's kind of inaudible, so that Biden could say that. Now, this is such a reach. What's coming now is such a reach. They now use the bloke. It's a bit like that bit in Apocalypse Now where there's a bloke out in the woods going, I kill you, I kill you, I kill you in America, USA, I kill you. And then that bloke goes, boom, and it's over. They now say that because Biden said that bloke's, I'm sure he said he's allowed to be outraged, and these people say he's allowed to be outrageous. I mean, what, was he dressed up in like drag or something? He's allowed to be outrageous. But that's the difference between Biden and MAGA. Because in Biden's democracy, you're allowed to say that. You know, people, you know, you're allowed to say that in Biden's democracy, but in a Republican fascist state, that bloke could be shot. This is nonsense. This is just insane. Dawn Browning, Semyagog's been suspended for a pro-white tweet. He sent out a call for help. All right, good call. I'll have a look into that, Dawn, and he's been suspended from Twitter, I assume you're talking about, or please don't tell me he's been suspended from YouTube for something he put on Twitter. That would be ridiculous. Good Lord. All right, nice one, Dawn. Nice one, people. I suppose the trick is to get on. The problem is, Dawn, he's not big enough for them to care. You know, you've got to be in the media to get those things turned around. You know, that's why they don't ban. They don't tend to ban big names because people get behind them. But even if everyone who loves Semyagog got behind him, you'd still be looking at a couple of thousand people. No disrespect, but no, he's fucked. Yeah, you're not allowed to say that. I mean, that's a Biden democracy where when you can't be pro your own people. It's insane, isn't it? Anyway, check out the rest. Thank you, Dawn, for bringing that to our attention and the donation. Right, so check out this reach, right? This is all they got from the tyranny of Biden's spectacular fear spectacle.
To me, that is the difference between Biden and Trump.
Totally.
That is the difference between me and Jenny Thomas.
Right.
That is the difference between Democrats and Republicans, because Republicans right now would have that heckler be beaten.
Right.
They would say that heckler.
That's it. That's the difference. Republicans would have that bloke beaten. But that's the difference between Biden and Trump. Hang on, I would have thought the difference would have been things like the southern border, the weapons cache left in Afghanistan, the Americans left in Afghanistan, the telephone call to China, the money going into I've got to be really careful with this one, but money being given to a country down there, billions every week, 40-year record inflation, the lack of energy independence, the lack of energy surplus, rising taxes. You know, I'd have thought these were the differences, but no, they're not the differences. The clear and apparent differences, letting the students off their money so that working America can pay for those already well-off students to get their crappy degrees. No, they're not the differences. No, that's much of a muchness between the two parties. The real differences is the Republicans would have had that bloke beaten, lynched. It's fucking madness. This is madness. And it's madness because these people don't support Biden, they support communism. They want to see America, the United States of America, they want to see it finished. When Ann Coulter said about, 5 years ago now, that adios America, the left's plan to turn America into a third world hellhole, sounded like hyperbole at the time, but she was spot on. Whatever you think about Ann Coulter, she was spot on with that. And that's what these people support. It's remarkable that they sit here. They hate Biden. They hate the Democrats. They hate the party of the KKK. Of course they do. But they'll sit there and they'll put on this act, this theater, so that the Republicans, who will get America, or who will make America great again. We still haven't heard much more of Build Back Better, have we? Fuck up further. They're happy to play this game because they know if it carries on like this for 2 more years, America will be almost irreversibly damaged. And that's the reality of where we are.
I don't know all Republicans, but Donald Trump
would certainly
has a record for saying,
right? And Lindsey Graham would be like, okay, boss, like that's how they are at this point, right? And so when Biden says that heckler is entitled to be outrageous, how can you hear that, understand what he meant? You heard the whole time that guy was yelling into the microphone. How can you hear Biden say that and not understand about the critical difference between both parties?
Yeah, it was an interesting moment.
I mean, that's enough of that bullshit. But that's the critical difference between the parties. I don't know about that. They are talking to a dumb audience. They are talking to people. These are elitists. These are globalists. These are the people at the top. And he just thought, how do we spin this bullshit? You know, what can they actually say about Biden? Out of that whole speech, right? Out of that entire speech, and out of the last nearly 2 years of the Biden administration, the only thing that Eli Mistal can think of saying on MSNBC to distinguish the parties is that Trump would have had that bloke beaten. There's only about another 20 seconds. That's it. They've done their bit. They would have walked off that set. They would have shaken hands, or they've probably said, well done, comrade. Bow to the people and all that. Mind blowing. Now let's check out John Kennedy. Imagine America, an America run by the likes of John Kennedy. I mean, he's a hero to me, John Kennedy. This is him on Fox News, and he says some amazing things. He outright, hello Delta Ray Studios, nice to see you. Outright, hello Matthew, calls them neo-socialists. Now, I'd have preferred him to say communist, but a neo-socialist is a communist. A socialist is a communist. If anyone ever tells you otherwise, tell them what I told you, and I've read most of it. I've read all 3 volumes of Das Kapital. I've read the lot. I've read the thesis on Fairback. You know, help me out here. Marx and Engels used communism and socialism interchangeably. They also didn't, but that's because when you've got a body of work, you know, scanning 20, 30 years, you change your mind. Okay, I get that. But there is no real difference. There's no real difference. And props to John Kennedy for doing it, you know, outright saying it. Check this out from Fox News. And again, they're talking about Biden's speech. I'm doing my best to stick to the title of this stream. It's going all right, yeah? This is miraculous. Right, give me a little audio check.
I guess he wanted a red, white.
There you go. I guess you wanted a red, white, and did you hear that? Hello, Pizzle. Good to see you, mate. Why I said hello to you, Mouse Cat? Yeah, of course I have. You said hello to me. Did you hear that? But did you make it to the end, though, Pizzle? Because I did turn it round. There was a few comments of people going, well done, good luck with your new job. And I was thinking, please watch the end. I think it might have backfired, Pizzle. Okay, nice one, free client. Here we go. Check out John Kennedy. This is on Fox News.
Blue, but it came out pure red, and he came out loaded for bear. A political speech more suited for the DNC. What are your thoughts?
Well, I guess, Brian, I'd make 3 points. Number one, after listening to the president's speech, I really understand why it's an unassailable fact that age does not guarantee wisdom. Number two, we saw the President Biden we saw last night was really every inch Joe Biden, the politician. His speech
spot on
was a very cynical attempt to fill our heads with stupid. And number three, I thought.
I mean, these are the people we want running America. We want Senator John Kennedy. He did. You know, this was a debate without an opposition. Just say it. You know, they're shit scared of the midterms. They're terrified, the Democrats. You know, they've already got Bannon in court. That'll get appealed, and that'll be done. There's the FBI thing on Trump. They're terrified, and they should be. Look at the damage they've done to the United States, and it's not getting any better. It's getting worse. They've just tried to buy off all the students. You know, I didn't even mention that when we were talking about giving away other people's money. That's vote. Can you vote for us? And you know that will go down into the forums and all that, the student forums. That message will be spread. If Biden doesn't, if the midterms are a red wave, you'll have to pay that money. So fucking go and vote for them. That will be the message that will be spread amongst students. That will be what will be going on in student unions. Student unions are communist organizations. They don't even pretend to be otherwise. They call each other comrade. Remember that fucking thing? Excuse me, comrade, can I speak? No, you can't. Well, hang on, what's going on here? No one can speak. Permission to speak. They're communists, and they will be saying, if you don't go and vote for the Democrats, you're going to have to pay your student loan back. You know, it's obvious. Why would you do it a matter of a month before the midterms? Oh, here's some free money. It's just straight out of the communist playbook. The only people who suffer there are blue-collar Americans, working Americans. Who do they vote for? Democrats? No. So fuck them anyway. Fuck them. They would have sat down. The Democrats would have sat down for the last year leading up to the midterms, and they'd have sat there and said, well, it's going quite well. You know, we are destroying the Republic pretty well. there is going to be the small issue of the midterms, and they say, right, well, how do we get money from Republican voters into Democrat voters' pockets? How can we do that? And let's work out how we can do it. Crack pipes was one. I mean, amazing, really. Get all the drug addicts on side. There's a fucking lot of them. There's enough of them. Get them on. They're giving them crack pipes. I've always wondered whether they're branded. A picture of Joe on it going, "Don't forget to vote." Just, oh yeah, thanks for the pipes. Thanks for the pipes, Joe. And then the students. So it's just a movement of money. Look at what the pandemic done. Look at all the small to medium enterprise businesses. They're all going out of business. Do you think that's Democrats who are entrepreneurs? Not really. They're too busy trying to make their businesses inclusive, which, go woke, get broke. No, all that money goes to the corporations, and the corporations support the Democrats. It's another transfer of wealth. That's all they've been doing in the background while the country just falls apart. Anyway, back to Mr. Kennedy.
To myself, what a missed opportunity to talk to the American people straight up about the reasons when they lie down and sleep at night they can't. He could have talked about crime, inflation, learning loss by our children, the mountains of fentanyl coming across the border, killing our teenagers. Instead, he chose to say to the American people, if you don't agree with me about higher taxes, more government, if you don't agree with me that moms are birthing people, if you don't agree with me that government has a constitutional right to talk to your 5-year-old about sexuality, you're a bad person.
And that is fucking spot on and brilliantly played by John Kennedy there, because he said it's a missed opportunity. In a real world where politics were understood for politics, and like they say, this speech should have been at the DNC. This should have been at their convention. This is how you talk. This is what you do when you talk to your own. But John Kennedy says, no, it's a missed opportunity, because he could have started, and then he dishes out all the disasters of the Democrat Party and said that Joe Biden could have said, and it's very tongue in cheek, he could have said what they're going to do about it. But he knows why they didn't, because they ain't going to do anything about any of it. They don't care about it. Mrs. is on the phone. 1 second. Have a cup of tea or something. It won't take long. Right. I've just put she's not going. You want to say hello?
Hello, my friend. I miss you. Baby.
Right. Can I get on with it? All right. You're all right. Bye. Mwah. Love you. Bye. I'll call you after. Love you too. Hi. Sorry about that. I muted it because I didn't want you to hear me talking to my missus about, she just told me she wants me to go to her friend's party, and I'm so knackered. I'm an old man. Doesn't she realise? She said to me the other day, she went, "I like old men." I was like, steady? Steady? I mean, I'm kind of glad, but sort of, I just said to her, "When's your mate's party?" And she went, "Starts at 12. I don't think she quite realises. I mean, I'll be up till 4 o'clock in the morning anyway, but not. Oh God, man! I think I'll just go and show my face. You know, might have a jazz cigarette, take the edge off. Hello. It will be full of totty though. It's always a threesome, you know. Anyway, hello. Right. I've lost track. Let's just get back to let's see what our man's saying. But he's right. No, I remember now. He's absolutely right. The reason that Biden couldn't talk about the things that John Kennedy says that the reason Americans can't sleep at night, the reason he can't talk about what he's going to do about them is he's got no plans. He's got no plans about the southern border. He's got no plans about inflation. That's going to convert into stagflation in about the next 6 months. He's got no plans about what they're going to do about all the damage they've done to the kids. There's no plans for it. They don't care. They want to destroy the United States. You've got to understand that's their aim. It's not Biden's aim. Biden doesn't know what's going on. He's just a puppet. He's nothing. But the people who are actually pulling the strings in the Democrat Party, they want the United States of America failed. They want it failed. They don't want it to exist in anything like its current state. They want it to be like South America, like Ann Coulter said. They want it to be like a third world hellhole. You know, they want essentially, and this is the line, they want the European influence gone. There you go. Hello, John. Good to see you. Hello, L to the C. Nice to see you. They fucking, yeah, they do, but you know, keeps me on my toes. Right, let's carry on with a bit more because he says some cracking stuff now.
You're not even an American. And it was, I guess after it was over, I said to myself, you know, it's really true. I've said this before, but the water's not going to clear up in Washington until we get the pigs out of the creek. And no one is coming to save us but ourselves.
Let's just have that again. It's amazing. Kennedy's fucking brilliant. Listen to what he actually says. Exactly that. Hello, IR, by the way. I didn't know you were in here. Hello, Mitis. Good to see you. Did I miss a couple? My entropy is not working. Let me refresh it. I'm not getting any VARs. Let me just refresh entropy. Sorry, people. Start streaming. I'm already streaming. What the fuck? Go live. Sorry about this downtime, people. Oh, what is problems? It can't be my internet. Nothing can be my internet. Well, I'll just keep letting that wheel go round then. Oh, come on, entropy. Well, while that's winding up, I'll go and just see if I've missed any. No, add-ons. If I've missed a donation from any of you, just make sure I know, and I'll go and find it. Yeah, I mean, you know, Kennedy, DeSantis. Well, you know, these are the Trump, Kennedy, DeSantis. Ted Cruz makes the occasional fuck up, but I'd still have him. I'd still have him in my government. It would appear that entropy is not working. What a shambles. But entropy is what alerts me to all donations. So, all right, fuck it. I'll let that keep running and running. Right, let's see what else he's got to say.
After it was over, I said to myself, you know...
Hang on, this is what he just said, because, you know, think about who he's actually referring to. It's amazing.
It's really true. I've said this before, but the water's not going to clear up in Washington until we get the pigs out of the creek. And no one is coming to save us but ourselves. I hope people will go vote.
Here's a clip, by the way, Senator, so we can let our viewers see what you're talking about.
They were watching Tucker.
Donald Trump and the MAGA Republicans represent an extremism that threatens the very foundations of our republic. MAGA Republicans do not...
Insane. Andy Mack, thank you for that. Got a bail, be well all. Sorry, Andy, you've probably gone. Packer just told me I missed 3, so I'm just going back. Oh, I did miss this from RP. Thank you, RP. Serious question, Chris. Do you think the coup Do you think the coup for the rise of the left could not have worked if there had never been an internet? I think that it would appear entropy is working now. Could not have worked. Nice one, Mousecat. I've just seen that arrive in there, and you've done an entropy, and you've done a one. All right, I'll deal with these. I think the internet has saved us, Raymond. I think if the internet, I've said this before on this channel, but if the internet was 20 years later, we wouldn't have had Trump. We wouldn't have had anywhere near the rise in populism, nationalism that's happening globally. I mean, don't forget the Italian elections are on the 13th of September, and the brothers of Italy are like 30 points ahead. Well, they were at the last polls. You know, you only find out about that on the internet. There's fuck all about it on English telly, as far as what I can find out from people I've asked in England. No, the internet has had quite the opposite effect. The internet has protected us from tyranny. That's my thought. If the internet was 20 years later, I doubt we'd have got the internet. It wouldn't have even been given to us. We'd have been totally under the thumb. That's what I think. Pack of records I missed once more. There you go. And that was the other one I missed. Entropy off. Good job. Bill's not here. Would be niggled. He has been niggling in the Scrubs lifeboat. It's hilarious. Nice one, Packer. And thanks for telling me I missed 3. There was another thing. Artist Austrian. Capitalism sucks and so does communism. They want us cap in hand begging for food. Well, I don't. How does capitalism suck? It's a great market strategy because there's 2 people and they both do well out of the transaction. The exchange value is incredible. I mean, corporatism sucks, which is often seen as capitalism, but you have to organize your society in some way. You can't just run around in the fields and hope it'll do it for you, and unless you've got another option. You know, these are the dominant meta narratives of the time. I mean, in fairness, I thought communism would have died a death after the 300 million starving and dead of the 20th century, but you know, you can never underestimate the stupidity of people hungry for power. Mouthcat, Chris, I sent you an entropy. Reply to your email. Did you send me the email about the lockpicker, or was that someone else? Reply to my email. I don't know what it means. I haven't checked them. I've been working so hard this week, but I will do. Of course, I will do. This fucking party, man. I mean, it's not a bad thing to moan about, really, having to go to a party. So I should not moan. Mousecat also sent this to entropy. Chris, before people start eating each other, they need to bug out. With that, they have a bug out bag full of surviving a dystopian apocalypse goodies. Do you supply to these markets? Are you suggesting I set up a company where people have got a bug out bag? Interesting you say that, Mousecat, because I have been looking at the preppers market, because it's a similar demographic to my customer base, but it's not as big as you'd think. You know, I contacted a load of big YouTuber preppers for some collaborations, not with this channel, but with my business, and none of them got back to me, and that's really weird, because businesses are usually collaboration is like your mailing list, my mailing list. You know, we can help each other out here, but I don't think the prepper market is as big as you'd think. I mean, does anyone here know anyone who's spent over a monkey on prepping for the apocalypse? I don't know anyone. I don't know any preppers. I don't know any. I mean, I know a couple of people who've got some water filters in their basement and some 30-year bread or something. That's not a joke, by the way, because it went round a small group of friends. 30-year bread. We were stoned, and he went having a Zoom call, and he went, "Have you got any 30-year bread though?" We're all cracking up. 30-year bread. He went, yeah, 30-year bread. Yeah. I said, don't tell me. Is it bread that lasts for 30 years? He said, no. He said, but you can grow it. I bet it's lovely. It's lovely. I'd rather have a 30-year Kalashnikov. Nice one, Mousecat. Appreciate donations. Thank you for telling me about Entropy. Entropy is now up and running, and we are vartlicious. We'll check out a little bit more of this Kennedy thing. Let me just get the chat back down there. We'll check out a little bit more of this Kennedy thing because he goes on to say this neo-socialist bit, which I want you to hear because it's kind of interesting.
Not respect the Constitution.
You don't.
They do not believe in the rule of law. They do not recognize the will of the people.
You actually have defunded the police. You want to take people's guns away. You don't believe in free speech. So far, you know, this is reverse projection.
They refuse to accept the results of a free election. And they're
free election.
Working right now, as I speak, in state after state, to give power to decide elections in America. MAGA forces are determined to take this country backwards.
I mean, you know, they were energy independent. They were selling it, and he's got the balls to say they're taking the country backwards. Look at the inflation. Look at the price of petrol or gas, as our American cousins say. This is insane. It's just bullshit. It's out and out bullshit. I know that's not the greatest of commentary, but there's not really much else to say.
To an America where there is no right to choose, no right to privacy, no right to contraception, no right to marry who you love. MAGA Republicans look at America and see carnage and darkness and despair.
Yeah, but the one that you've caused. Look how suspicious he looks. Hang on, let's get a print of that. Let's have a close-up on that. He's so frightening. He is so frightening, this fella. Look, fucking hell, hang on. Nah. Exactly what's the name? Exactly. It's not keep them away from your kids, it's keep them away from your country. Fucking hell, man. Carry on, Joe. You're making a lot of sense if you were talking about yourself.
They spread fear and lies. Lies told for profit and power.
Oh, sorry. I was thinking about your son in the Ukraine. Carry on.
I see a different America.
One that looks like Venezuela.
America with an unlimited future. An America that's about to take off.
It's about to take off. It was already doing really well under that fella Trump. He wasn't perfect. No one in party politics is perfect. But it was flying. You know, that's the word you'd use. It was flying. The economy was flying. Jobs were flying. Employment was flying. It was a better place to live. And all he's got to say, it's amazing. All he can say is, it's about to take off. What happened to Build Back Better? No, not yet. A few months, maybe. That's his promise. We're nearly there. We're nearly there, people. We just need a little bit more of your money, and then we're nearly there. Fuck you, fuck's sake. And that, people, is historically another commie thing. Look into it. Look into the Bolshevik Revolution. It's always nearly about to happen. When Lenin went and spoke to the farmers, who they stopped from farming after the revolution, amazing. They went round and said to all the farmers, come and fight with us. Come and fight in the revolution. And then when they won, they said, you're not allowed to farm. You have to farm for the government because we're now communists. And the farmers were like, well, hang on a minute. How am I going to make any money? they're like, well, we're going to let you keep a little bit of what you farm, but the rest of it we're going to redistribute to other people. And the farmers were like, yeah, but what if they're not doing any work? I work like 20-hour day farming. And the communists were like, look, I know it don't make a lot of sense at the moment, but we're nearly there. It's nearly there. You've only got another 40 years of starvation to go through, and then we'll collapse. And you can have a fair crack at life, but we're nearly there. Cambodia, they told them that when everyone was starving. Just wait a couple more weeks. Mao's China, we're nearly there. Mao's China actually got there when they dumped it and become capitalists. Never mind. Nearly there, Joe.
I hope you see it as well.
Senator, you know a lot of MAGA Republicans. Does he describe them accurately?
Well, that sounds like a long-winded description and definition of what Secretary Clinton called deplorables.
Exactly.
The people that President Biden is talking about, some of whom supported President Trump, some didn't, are the people who get up every day, go to work, obey the law, pay their taxes,
Boom.
try to teach their kids morals. They do want to they are proud of America. They do want to make America great again. They just don't agree with President Biden's neo-socialist woke agenda.
Boom! Amazing. And tap yourselves on the back. And I mean that. Because there's people like you and me and all the other people on our small little channels all around the internet who stood up to this bullshit, who were saying things like that 5 or 6 years ago. And people called us Nazis, racist, homophobic, crazy. We lost friends, we lost lovers, we lost families. And now on mainstream media, you've got a senator outright saying this administration has got a woke neo-socialist. I mean, that confuses the issue, really. Well, neo, it's the same idea. It's socialist, communist agenda. And he's right. Biden was basically saying anyone who's not a communist, you're in our line of fire. You're the enemy. You're the vicious, dangerous, hateful enemy. And if you're not willing to give up the good life that you've earned, that your forefathers earned, if you're not willing to give that up for millions of people from the rest of the world who are just piling in, we're coming for you. Shocking. Fair play to Senator Kennedy. Absolutely incredible. Right, what have I got for you here? Right, now that's a bit later. That's a bit later. That's later. Oh, we are. This is just shocking. So let's have a look at what the Young Turks. Again, the Young Burks are embarrassed about the Biden administration. They're embarrassed because they're an embarrassing collection of people. But again, they're destroying America, so they'll support them. But fuck me, they have to work hard. They have to work hard to support them. But if you get nothing more out of this than just a giggle at what has happened to Cenk Uyghur's face, it looks like the failure of the regularly, artificially elevated to the front page of YouTube, the artificially trending, the Young Turks. The Young Turks do live streams to about 2,500 people. Salty Cracker does them to like 30,000. 30,000. Cheers. This is an artificial. This is the fucking Politburo. This is Pravda at this stage. They know this is nonsense. But look at the state of Uyghur's face. I don't know whether he's had some surgery or maybe he pays for a woman to kick him in the face. I mean, you wouldn't put him past a bit of that, would you? But this is the Young Turks talking about one of the most frightening speeches in American political history. Check it. We joined them halfway through where they're, well, we're talking the same bullshit they did all the way.
Casually. So spare me, honestly, the supposed tears. Stephen Miller would have loved every bit of that if it had been delivered by Trump. It just wouldn't have had any of the sting of actually identifying a true threat to democracy in that case.
Yeah, I think half the people in those clips.
Look, what has happened? Hang on a minute. Hang on, let's just see what old Chunk Yogurt, what did Jesse Lee Peterson call him? What's your name? Chunk? Chink? Chunny? The fuck is it? What's that? What is that? That weren't there before, was it? Has he got monkeypox? Chenk's secret gay orgy monkeypox. What are those eye bags though? That's actual damage. Mate, you've got the pox. That was it, Nyanthos. Keek. What is all that stuff? What's going on with that boat? Anyway, listen to it's toe curling stuff, people. But again, remember, they're having to get down, they're having to chop their own bollocks off just to defend the destruction of the United States. By the way, what they're actually responding to, I should make this clear, it'll be a little bit out of context. They're not actually responding to the speech in this clip. They're responding to conservatives who went on the news to talk about it. That's what they're responding to. So that just give it a little bit more context. They're not responding directly to the speech in this clip. Here we go. Oh, actually, I will probably have to do it again because I put that picture up. Bosh, bosh, bosh. Here we go. Go for it, Cenk. Make some sense, mate.
Know, of course, that they're playing games, and Stephen Miller said one thing that is true. He said, "Look, the oldest trick for people who want to be authoritarian is to call their opponents what they are," which is ironically exactly what he was doing.
Which is ironic because that's exactly what Joe Biden was doing. But he can't see that. Oh, what? No, they're all about American prosperity. No. He can see a conservative pundit doing that. Oh no, but not Shay Biden. No. That would be ridiculous.
In that appearance, he was an integral part of Donald Trump's presidency, and he pushed a fake elector scheme, which would have literally done
scheme. He's talking about Stephen Miller, a conservative pundit.
Done a coup against our democracy. He pushes for an authoritarian leader in Donald Trump, and then he says, "Oh, look, Biden's doing it," and then he tells you his own strategy as if Biden believes it. Right? So that was really meta. But I think half of them, guys, are genuinely shocked. And I know why. Because right-wingers have a sense
hang on, this is the kicker, right? He's now saying that Kasparian pox. Oh dear, I'd rather have monkeypox. This is the kicker. This is where he's telling you why. The reason, I'll tell you why I think the conservative pundits were shocked. Because it was a terrifying, tyrannical, stage managed and choreographed bullshit fountain. And it was a political, which is not meant to be, it was a political debate without an opposition. That's not how it works. He's trying to prep for the midterms, and it was evil. We've never, on the back of the FBI raid of Trump's pad, this again has not been seen in American history. This kind of thing has not been seen because essentially it's not cricket. You don't do it. You do not do that. You don't call people out like that on this platform where they've got no way to respond. That's why all the pundits were rightly and obviously shocked. Let's see where Cenk goes with that.
And I know why. Because right-wingers have a sense of entitlement in this country. that Democrats and the left are not allowed to fight back. That they could say anything they want about Democrats. They could say that they're child molesters and they're baby killers and criminals and rapists and the worst people. They could say anything, the most outrageous things about Democrats. But if a Democrat ever says anything about Republicans, they go, "Oh my God, they have offended half the country."
Yeah, the difference is though, Mr. Yogurt, it wasn't Trump saying those things, was it? We're talking about what Biden was saying, the leader of the fucking free world. Do you not understand the difference between a few trolls on 4chan and the president, or is that just fallen out of that new hole in your head?
Well, how about when you were calling half the country baby killers and all the other unbelievable things you've said?
Yeah, but they are. That they do push those policies. So what? Just because you don't like it, it doesn't make it untrue. I mean, this is so ridiculous what he's saying here. Yeah, but you said this and you said this. Yeah, but it's true. Just because you don't like being called out, it doesn't mean you can. Doesn't mean the president can call people names. That's not just because you don't like it. What a prick.
Said over the last 40 years, they feel like no, I have a right to do that. I have a right to punch you in the face.
Whoa! Oh, yeah, that's what you always get from right wingers. What right wingers are always about that. It's not the left that do that. It's not like the left actually have an organisation that go out at any opportunity, that go out at any opportunity to inflict physical damage on people. No. And this entitlement he's talking about the right. The right don't have an entitlement. What they do have is a moral outlook, an ethical outlook. They work hard and they feel entitled to get some of that money that they generate back. That's what they think. Whereas you think it should be given to other people. And that's the difference, you fucking dick. And you know it. You look at the state. Look at the hatred on that man's face. Look, he despises the nation that has given him a fantastic life. The hate he has for America, look, it's dripping out of that hole in his head. And I'm not talking about his mouth. That barely opens.
But you don't ever have a right to talk back to me because I'm in charge.
Yep.
Now, super sad day for the right wing. No, you're not.
You really think the conservatives lost out here? So blind. This was an absolute fail for the Democrats. Cenk, have you looked at the polling? What a bizarre. Imagine, and again, look, this is the problem with these people. That they have to support it because it's all they've got. And they know they're lying, but imagine living in that world. Imagine having to communicate in that world. I couldn't do it because I improvise. I don't prepare what I'm going to say, but I can, because I don't have a belief system, I can actually ad hoc tell you what I think. But they're acting. That's why it's all so stilted and bizarre. It's just crazy what he just said. Absolute madness. RP, nice one on that Ayrton Senna, Raymond. The painters and decorators at work had BBC Two radio on. The painters and decorators at work had BBC Two radio on all day. The total level of propaganda I found truly shocking, having been a recluse for the last 10 months. Oh, it's madness, Raymond, because I don't have a telly, obviously, and I don't get any Western. I don't get it out here. So when I occasionally go on the internet to look at some, because I've been away from it, like you've just said, for so long, the blatancy of it, when you're not sort of in their world, it's like when you watch EastEnders for the first time in 10 years, and you've got like your family, they're going, oh my God, I can't believe Sharon said that. And to you, it just looks wooden. And you can't imagine being in any way emotionally invested in it. It's exactly the same in propaganda. If you're not caught up in their essentially hypnotic web's the wrong word, but the sort of hypnotic 4D chess of propaganda, you see it for what it is. No, I can totally understand that. Yeah, it's shocking. But thankfully, that's just noise in the background for those painters and decorators. I doubt they're actually listening to it. They you know, I don't know anyway.
We do get to talk back to you. You're not the boss of us. And they've gotten smug.
Yeah, we'll see about that in November. Look at him. Look at it. Man, like, I have to occasionally look at myself on the internet when I'm editing. If I had to look at myself on the internet and I looked anything like that, I mean, I would be a little bit concerned. A little bit of socialism for you too. Thank you, Vincent. Appreciate it. Vincent, I'll correct you on that. Is capitalism through and through. Let's not forget, this is a channel that for 4 months run the Dangerfield dollar drive. I mean, no apologies or excuses for the grift. Nice one, Vincent. Sorry, I called you Raymond. There you go.
And used to that entitlement because Democrats have not fought back in 40 goddamn years. When Biden half fights back, this is not a majority of Republicans are wonderful people. The majority of Republicans, my ass, they're wonderful people. They're awful people, right? But he says the majority are good. But less than half are problematic because they just try to overturn our democracy. And they're like, this is the most divisive speech in decades. You never saw Donald Trump's speech? They're just amazing.
Yeah.
It's amazing to watch them try and brand run-of-the-mill neoliberal democracy as fascism, which might be something.
What? I've watched all of those. Because they have them on here. Neo-fascist. Vart. No, that's not what they were called. That's not what you were called, was it? They avoid the socialism and the communism thing like the plague. Because, if you're going to Trojan horse that kind of ideology into your administration, the last thing you want to do is talk about it. The right wing calling the communists fascists. Yeah, good try. They're mental. They're mental people. Right, where are we? Planet X, nice one, mate. Hoyt to that. Thank you very much. We're just at the 2.25 hour mark. I've already told you, I've got to get a bit of a move on. I've already told you about the, hang on, sorry, people, a bit of back behind the scenes work. I've already told, we might as well watch a little bit of it because it's Salty Cracker and it's got, do you remember that? It wasn't a meme as such, but that video that went round where they showed you every news outlet, every legacy media outlet, including local and cable and all of them, all spout in the same lines. Do you remember that? It was incredible. Well, Salty Cracker, we won't watch all of it because it's long and I've already explained it to you. But he shows you that they're doing the same thing here, and it's not true. And again, that's why propaganda is so bizarre. Listen to this. You'll see what I'm talking about at the opening. And we'll hear a little bit about what Salty's got to say about it because it's quite on the ball. Oh, here we go. You should be able to hear it.
Good evening. I'm Erin Burnett. Out front tonight, the walls closing in on President Donald Trump.
It feels like the walls are closing in on the White House.
For Trump, though, it must feel as if this is closing in on him.
The walls are closing in.
The walls are closing in on the president.
I mean, really, they've all been told to say that. Them, that email would have went out to thousands of news stations around America. This is the line we're going with. He must feel like the wall is... No, he doesn't. Not at all. He's probably more worried about getting a bullet in the head or a car that suddenly starts driving itself. Here's Salty Cracker talking about that.
You hear that? It's a sound of a million wings as lefties, small tiny heads pop and explode out of sheer, I don't know. Are they out of hormone blockers? No, it's because they won't arrest Donald Trump this time for serials.
Cheers, Vincent. That's better. That's more like it.
Bunch of dumb idiots on the left-hand side waking up to realize that. No, it's not as simple as criminals being arrested when they commit crimes by people who are the good guys. That's not how any of this works. It's not a fucking television series, you dumb idiots. No, we're in a massive political upheaval, and the criminals are in charge, and the criminals are looking to arrest people who haven't broken any crimes, who pose a threat to the criminal institution that is running around robbing this country blind as they drive it off a cliff. That's what you're seeing over here. And so, yeah, here you go. You got Bloomberg, and this is a tweet that is really lighting off these lunatics. Breaking: federal prosecutors are likely to wait until after the November election to announce any charges against Donald Trump if they determine that he broke laws. And this right here has made their left-hand side go apoplectic. Like, it's like, what? What? They're not going to arrest him? I've been told for 6 years that the walls are closing in. For serious, man. I'm going to have to get another crime closet. Yeah, I'm going to need a bunch more crime.
Dawn can't warm to salty cracker. He's not everyone's cup of tea, but he's amazing. Dawn, maybe check out, if you haven't already, the live streams. The live streams are better, I think, than the standalone videos. But he's absolutely smashing it. But maybe, like most things, not for everyone. I must admit, I don't know. Let me see. That's a fair point, actually. Rags, where are you, son? There you go. Maybe he'll get back to me on that. He might be at a physio or something. He has to visit those people quite a lot. Hello, Goat Noise Photography. Good to see thee. Oh, Pizzle, you'll love it, man. Check out the restreams. They start on YouTube for about an hour, and then he says, fuck off, Susan. We're going over to Odyssey. Although Odyssey's boss is friends with Satan, so something weird's happening there. If you missed it, people, on this, I've got to show you again, just in case some of you missed it. It's... where is it? Blah, 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 blah. There you go. Ethan Ralph was paid by Odyssey to shut down his BitChute channel. Now, I know Ray Vahi, my best mate Ray. We're like that. That one's me. And he has done something remarkable. BitChute is about the 850th most used website in America. All right, that's smashing it. I mean, trust me, that is smashing it. And they are always on to him. Ofcom. He had the British anti-terrorist unit talking to his Thai moderators about fucking incels, right? It's mad. Ray is continually under threat. They're always... You know, every week he sends me a couple more documents that he's got sent through the post, or you've got to do this, you're going to get shut down, they've said this, you've got this. And, it's all lies. It's all lies. And I even said to him, why haven't you got live streaming? Get your live streaming sorted. And he said, because one person live streams something that's not allowed, I'll get shut down. And I said, yeah, but hang on, that's the same for YouTube. He said, yeah, but they'll give YouTube the benefit of the doubt because it's so big. So they don't know that it was on their platform. Bearing in mind, it was Facebook that the Christchurch shooter went live on. But, it's stacked so badly. Anyway, the Odyssey boss paid Ethan Ralph to get rid of his BitChute channel and go on to Odyssey, which Ethan Ralph did. I haven't got a problem with that. You got to earn a living. Ethan Ralph, he's probably not going to be able to do much more than YouTube. But Chew, my God. Hello, son. It's been like about a year. Chew's like OG first 5 subscribers. Hello, mate. Nice one on the 5 spot, but lovely to see you. That's incredible. Look at that. They made BitChute ban my account from being accessible in the UK. Who's they resisting the lies? They made BitChute ban my account for being... I don't understand. Can you... I don't know what I'm missing, but you'll have to tell me. But anyway, Ethan Ralph admits that, right? And that's fair enough. They probably offered him 10 grand or something. He doesn't say how much. But if someone offered me 10 grand, I'd be hard pressed at the moment to say no, because that's 10 grand. But then, and I will show this one again because it's really weird. And this is from Ethan Ralph himself. Hang on. It's already started. So Ethan, I know I showed this the other day, but there's 130 people here, and I'm guessing there's some people didn't see it, right? Ethan Ralph says that Odyssey paid him to shut down his BitChute account and go onto Odyssey, right? So they're trying to get some bigger names over onto Odyssey. Then Ethan, and I know I showed this last week, like I said, but it's only going to be a couple of minutes. So if you did see it last week, don't matter. This is then what Ethan Ralph himself talking. Check this out. Let me know you can hear it.
Anyways, asked me about her condition, and I'm telling her, and then he says, "You got to talk to my guy Moloch." I know it all sounds. I blurred out retarded because it's
right. That did you hear that? The boss, if you can see it there on the screen, the Odyssey boss said in a chat with Ethan Ralph, "You've got to talk to my guy Moloch." That's Lucifer, people. And then look, I know it sounds all fucking and like Ethan Ralph. It rhymes with natarded and begins with an R. And resisting lies. I've just seen that come through. I'll get through this Ethan Ralph thing, but this is mad. Look,
it's Twitter, and if people will be trying to report this. Yeah, and I was like, because he kept bothering me about this. By the way, he kept bringing up Moloch. And so I'm like, yeah, I don't know. I thought about it. I was like, it does sound wild. LOL. That's like a very uncomfortable LOL.
in fairness, John, all right, he's one of those archangel crowds, but you know, I think my point is made. If someone wants to correct me on exactly who Moloch is, it's not my cup of tea. Let's just see that. IR says, I doubt Satan has an email address, but Ethan says he kept bothering him about it.
LOL, because he kept bringing up Moloch, like on the phone and shit. He would be talking about Moloch, and he was like, it brought him such great riches. Moloch, I don't know how to say it right.
And look, you can see in the chat here. Look, Ethan says, I was actually thinking about that the other day because at this point, why not? And Ethan says it's kind of awkward. But look what the Odyssey boss says. Yeah, man, but here's the thing. It's a crazy thing that really only crazy black women in Haiti and powerful people do, like corporate people, celebrities, football players. I mean, I'm just trying to put myself into the position of being paid off to go onto Odyssey. Like I say, you have to weigh up the pros and cons, but then the boss getting onto you, giving it, you need to talk to my guy Moloch. And then on the phone as well. Yeah, let's get back. You know, he's trying to get him into some kind of cabal of devilish sacrifices. I wonder how long he would hang around there. I wonder if he could give that money back and leave, and then that bloke meets up and goes, "Oh no, you can't leave. No, there's no leaving now." And he wakes up with like a scar in the shape of like a trident on his shoulder. Fucking hell! I'll be like, no. All right, where is Sumerian demon, a god of child sacrifice? There you go. Still doesn't sound too good though, does it? I think it's a fair. I think Satanism is a fair enough general umbrella term for if you're talking about my guy Moloch. I think that gets the point across, and of course you can go in and look into it in a bit more detail if you want. I don't want those things in my internet history. Not living out here. Resisting the Lies, the Scottish press and Ofcom as well. I think it was in the papers last year. I'm famous. So what? Hang on. You said there's an art. I'll read it in the lifeboat then. But basically, you can't access your own BitChute account. Is that what you're saying? And that, good gosh, that is peculiar. Hello, Pax Max. It depends whose children they are, Eldritch. What a peculiar situation to get yourself in, though. I'd be a little bit like, oh, hang on, what's Boris said to me? Boris said that he knocked one out during my I'm leaving YouTube video. Right, okay. We might as well actually look at some of the speech, okay? We might as well, I think only in fairness. We won't look at a lot of it because I'm sure most of you saw it. Oh no, Dawn, I'm not laughing at it. I'm laughing at the absurdness. I'm laughing at imagining being Ethan Ralph. And you're just getting on with your day. You accepted that's a business deal. That's all right. You earned some money. And then the next thing, you've got someone on the phone going, yeah, there's a bit more to this deal than you thought, but you cannot leave. It's terrifying. I'm with you. I'm with you. Right, here we go. A little bit of Biden, but I want you to watch the way the red goes across and it goes dark. This is choreographed. This is theatre, people. This would have cost them millions. The scripting, the lighting, the choreography of it, and it looks terrifying. And what he said is terrifying. This is modern America. And you know, interestingly, while we're talking about Moloch and co. or et al., the heart, the dying heart of this speech was about the soul of America. Biden, I mean, that's a really odd thing to say. This is about the soul of America. The soul of America is European. You can't argue that. That's historical fact. Now, soul itself in that context is poetic. So can you have a historical fact around poetry, around something that's poetic? Yeah, yes, you can. Because it does have a connotation and a denotation. It's there. Now, just what on the back of Moloch, just check out the opening few seconds of this speech, which should not have been political. Should not. It should have been. He should have been addressing the American people, and he didn't. He divided the American people. Check it out. This is quite something. Sorry, people. The same old audio problems. Bosh, bosh, bosh. Have a look at this. Look, watch. Look at the lights. Look.
My fellow Americans,
Fucking hell.
please, if you have a seat, take it. I speak to you tonight from sacred ground in America. Independence Hall.
I mean, incredible. The sacred ground already. Hello, Joe. Good to see you, mate.
In Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. This is where America made its Declaration of Independence to the world.
Look at it.
More than 2 centuries ago, with an idea.
He's done 3 Simon Webbs already.
Unique among nations.
IR coming live from the gates of Hades. This is an incredible joke. Good call, IR. It really is, though. Look at it. And you know what? The thing is, they would have said to him, well, no. The company that put this charade together would have said, you want black and red. And they would have said, yeah, but, you know, we're Republicans. We're Democrats. Even I got confused with all that red. And they said, blue's not going to cut it. You know, we've written your script for you. You need a daunting, looming gates of Hades, like IR said. That's the look you need. Don't worry about the old red, blue, Democrats, Republicans, because this is, this is the soul of America speech. And they went for it. And it fucking worked. Look at it. You know, you've got to go some. You've got to go some to make Biden look authoritative. You've really got to work hard to make him look like what he's... I mean, he's already... 3 times. Even when he says America, it's almost like he knows he's lying. It was like the comedy said, America. Boom. But Yet still, they pulled it off. Look, we know this bloke's a bumbling fool. This is a bloke who fell up the airplane 3 times. But look at it. You've got to give them to it. You've got to give that to them. You know, look at the silhouettes of the troops in the background. It's quite something. It really is. You know, it'd be pointless trying to take the piss out of it. It looks great. It's given him authority that we know he hasn't got.
That in America, we're all created equal. This is where the United States Constitution was written. This is where we set in motion the most extraordinary experiment of self-government the world has ever known.
And you fucked it in about 18 months, you dozy bastard.
With 3 simple words: we the people. We the people.
I think you'll find it's you the elites. You the elites. How dare you even pretend to have anything to do with the people of America? You hate them. You're fucking their lives up intentionally.
These 2 documents and the ideas they embody
are hated roundly and explicitly by the Democrats.
Equality and democracy are the rock upon which this nation is built.
And you've destroyed
They're how we became the greatest nation on earth.
I mean, it's just jokes at this stage hearing him. You know, this cunt has got no. How he even ended up being part of the history of that nation is just beyond me.
Why, for more than 2 centuries, America has been a beacon to the world.
Because it was built upon European ideas.
But as I stand here tonight, equality and democracy are under assault.
By you and yours.
We do ourselves no favor to pretend otherwise.
Don't worry, we all know. It's clear as day. People are skinned, mate.
Tonight, I've come to this place where it all began.
And the ghosts are spinning in their graves.
Speak as plainly as I can to the nation about the threats we face, about the power we have in our own hands to meet these threats, and about the incredible future that lies in front of us if only we choose it. We must never forget, we the people are the true heirs of the American experiment.
Yeah, fuck off. I literally can't watch. I've seen it twice. I just wanted you to show you that opening where the lights go down and that red comes across. And they did make Joe Biden look like he had some authority. There's some cracking memes of you where he's got a little moustache. Right. So I think it's fair to say I did stick to the thumbnail for a stream. But we're moving away from it now. I've done 2.5 hours. Is poem of the day. Poem of the day. He's mixed race. It's a mixed race poem. He's English and Welsh. Careful. This is Edward Thomas. Check it out. Enjoy it. Something wonderful and beautiful, which is of us and runs through our veins.
Yes, I remember Adelstrop, the name, because one afternoon of heat the express train drew up there, unwontedly. It was late June. The steam hissed. Someone cleared his throat. No one left and no one came on the bare platform. What I saw was Adelstrop, only the name, and willows, willow herb and grass, and meadows sweet and haycocks dry, no whit less still and lonely fair than the high cloudlets in the sky. And for that minute a blackbird sang close by, and round him mistier, farther and farther, all the birds of Oxfordshire and Gloucestershire.
Just wonderful. What a place England was. What an Right. Today's toxic masculinity section. It's quite long. It's quite long. We'll probably end up watching about 3.5 minutes. It's from King of the Streets again. I know I've milked this lately. By the way, little advert. If you're new here, because there are some new people in here, I'm a writer. Substack is totally free. Top link in the description. There's 20 short stories on there, and I've written them all in the last year. So go and check them out and subscribe to that. If you subscribe, you get any new ones. There's a teaser for my novel on there. That's called Skagless and Bible Black. There's another teaser for my novel going up tomorrow. I couldn't even work on my novel when I didn't have internet because fucking Word these days is part of it's online. Great. Couldn't even do a word count. Couldn't edit something out. I wanted to chop a section out and put it on Substack. Couldn't do it because I had no internet. When I realised I was going to go without the internet for a few days, I thought, no worries, I can work on my novel. No, you can't. You can't. Thanks. So check this out. This is from King of the Streets. It's an unlicensed underground fighting club. I think it's amazing. I think it's without doubt the best of all the underground fighting clubs. They meet in car parks, and it's proper no rules. I previously was wrong. I previously said you can't eye gouge. You can kick people in the head when they're on the floor. You can jump up and down on their heads if you want. It's fucking amazing. And this is what I want to see. I want to see this kind of stuff. But what? I want to see people responding to a world that tells them they're not wanted. I want to see men being men. Men fight. Young men fight. They always have. Good. You're a writer, but I'm king of the typos. I do read around them, though, Raymond. I do read around them. Thank you, Raymond. Appreciate it. No, I should be all right, Toffee, because it's fighting. It's just fighting, and I should be all right. No, I'm with you, JP. I spend a lot of time watching it. Anyway, without any more further ado, let's check out King of the Streets. It's a cracking fight. If fighting's not your thing, maybe go and make a cup of tea or pour yourself a stiff afternoon gin. This is something else, man. Go. That bass every time. Okay, go. Come in. Oh my fucking gosh. Fucking hell. And someone turned the lights out. There's a reason I told you it went on for about 4 minutes, because I didn't want you to look out for the early knockout. That's quite a fight, wasn't it? Fucking hell. Now, but think about it. If any of you have been, I haven't had a lot of fights in my life, but I've had a few. But that is a terrible position to be in on the floor, especially, because getting up, it takes at least 3 limbs, which leaves you with 1 limb to protect yourself. And that bloke is when there's no rules, that's when he's going to just football kick your head. Exactly that, Toffee. Exactly that. Spun his neck, crushed his artery. There was no blood going to his head. Someone turned the lights out. Gone. I have not seen the new trailer for King of the Streets. Maybe it's worth a quick look now. I've really got to go and get some food, but let's see if I can find it. Hang on. That's not something I can find too quickly, so I'll look for it and play it next time. Good God, King of the Streets is excellent. Right, if you haven't seen this already, I'm sure some of you have, but it's very good. Nicola Sturgeon, the good old Scottish nationalist on Mastermind, of course. His laughs, I tell you. Here we go. Bosh, bosh, bosh. Absolute respect for putting this together.
Welcome to Mastermind with me, Magnus Magnusson. Let's ask our first contender to join us, please. Your chosen subject, failure. In 2 minutes, starting now. Which party has created the biggest educational attainment gap worse than the Tories?
I'm not going to attempt to answer the question.
The correct answer is the SNP. Scotland has the lowest life expectancy in Western Europe, with the lowest life expectancy at birth of all UK countries. Which party is responsible for this?
You know, a multitude of things.
No, the correct answer is the SNP. Scotland's homeless death rate is currently the worst in Britain. Who needs to take responsibility for the death rate 3 times higher than it is in England?
I was not aware.
No, Nicola Sturgeon. The Scottish NHS missed 6 out of 8 national waiting time standards recently. The missing standards included patients starting cancer treatment. Which political party is failing our NHS?
I don't need to go into detail.
No, the SNP. After SNP funding cuts, the annual drug deaths had risen to 1,187.
Shit.
Who is responsible?
My government.
Correct. Audit Scotland have highlighted multiple failings and the absence of any paperwork relating to the ferry fiasco. Who is responsible?
I just...
No, the correct answer is Nicola Sturgeon. In recent years, Scotland's per capita GDP was 8% lower than that of the UK. Who is responsible for this failing?
As First Minister, an abuse of my role.
Correct. Why is the SNP so opposed to free speech? No, the correct answer is the ideological preferences of Nicola Sturgeon, who was found guilty of misleading Holyrood by the Salmond Inquiry Committee of MSPs and then lied about that fact. I've started so I'll finish on national television's Loose Women programme. The correct answer is Nicola Sturgeon.
It's fucking great. Absolutely superb. Good work. Superb. It's from a channel called Mercurius. He's doing all right. He's a small channel, though. I'll put the link in. Probably worth going and giving him a like. Mercurius. Let me get my little grift banner back up that I kindly took down for you. Yeah, I'll put the link. He's only got 5,000 subs, so we'd probably appreciate a thank you. There's my little like, just boshed in there. He's had 60,000 views. It's cracking, isn't it? And all true, of course. Right, now, I know this is old. But it's Saturday, Arvo. It's Saturday. It's 8 o'clock here now. Good Lord, I've got to go to this fucking party. I just want to lay down. I actually want to lift some weights. Maybe I'll lift some weights. Eat, lift weights. Visit the party. And then say to my missus, everyone's speaking Khmer, I'm a little bit bored. I'll leave you to it, love. You have a better time on your own. And come home and do a stream. I'm so tired, darling. This is 2 years old, and I know it's a very popular channel, so many of you will have seen it, but it's bad lip reading, you know it, and it's Biden. And I hadn't seen it. Somehow this one had missed me, but check it out. It's very funny. We won't watch all of it because it gets a bit repetitive, but there's some absolute corkers in here. If you don't know what the setup is, they just lip read what they're saying, but obviously they're not. Oh no, for sure. Hello Willow, by the way. No, that shower. I'm in that shower for about half hour because lifting weights in this weather, you just don't cool down. You know, I just get in the shower, sit on the floor, have it on ice cold, and cool down. That ain't a bad idea, actually, John. I get a couple of hours out of the pump, so yeah, maybe I'll just do shoulders and upper pecs. Yeah, that ain't a bad idea. Give me a reason to go. Put my tight t-shirt on. Gay boy. Here we go.
Why do people think that I'm bad at gravity? I'm gonna need a flute.
Oh, I forgot to say something. I forgot to say the reason why I wanted to show you it, because I'm not just dining out on someone else's content. Here's why I'm showing you it. When you watch, they've done these about Trump. They don't seem to have any political affiliations. They've done them about everyone and celebrities. The thing about the Biden one, it looks like it sounds like he is saying those things. You wouldn't be surprised. Usually you're cracking up because they're so absurd, the things they say. But it's a measure of how much bullshit and bordering on the surreal nonsense that comes out of Biden's mouth, that it's not that odd. Check it. Look at his face. Yeah, you're an horrible piece of work, Biden.
Nathaniel. No! They only gave me part of my breakfast. Like, why? I'm gonna get hungry in my car. You're probably a mistake. I think guac stains everything. I power wash it, but it will never get off of me. A green weird thing. Now spinach, that's really hard to get off of me. I browned in the woods and had to put dirt over it. Do not get me a spleen, because definitely I think it'd be a crime. It bears repeating. Nathaniel. Here's your cyborg. I think a bug just went in my ear. Whoa, who do you have in your basement? Are you a fan of custodians?
Custodians?
Yeah, those who wipe it down or mop up our sneezes. I think I hurt my brain and now it's reversing. Peacocks. Riding my motorcycle. Hey, give me a Coke. Someday I might get a butt tattoo. I know you're both bored as heck. Mitsubishi to that girl. And you guys have a bunny? The internet is exempt from honesty. SUBSTACK and Sassy Pants Band. Begonia. What is it? Ooh, it's a flower? Get a frickin' tie. I mean, dodgeball is it. There's not a funner use of rage here on this planet. So true. I hear a fly. We don't have any tambourines. You know what they say. Joey Biden, always fighting. No, they got mugs that say it. We need new babies out there. I think we need time to make new ones because the old ones just become so big and so mean. Nathaniel, Freebird.
There you go. I can't just be dining out on someone else's content. And so we will finish up today, nearly 3 hours. Feel free to donate to the 3-hour Super Saturday stream. And thank you to everyone who has, by the way. That always keeps the faith. Mark Dice, looking tanned, looking like he's put a bit of weight on. I think he's been on holiday on the Beers and Lobsters, and the Hoyt, Mark Dice, for doing that. Let's check out the first couple of minutes of what he made about Biden's triumph of will. I think out of all of the reviews I watched of it, as usual, the boy Dice absolutely kills it. Here we go. We won't watch all of it, but the best bit's the first few minutes.
Old Joe gave a primetime address to the nation last night, looking like General Hux from Star Wars, or the fascist leader from V for Vendetta. Seriously, I didn't alter this at all. That was literally the backdrop. What was the purpose of this special presidential primetime address, you're wondering? It was to complain about Donald Trump and all of us for still supporting him.
Too much of what's happening in our country today is not normal. Donald Trump and the MAGA Republicans represent an extremism that threatens the very foundations of our republic. Now, I want to be very clear.
Absurd.
Very clear up front. Not every Republican, not even the majority of Republicans, are MAGA Republicans.
Actually, Joe, we are. MAGA Republicans think that the overwhelming majority of the Republican Party, literally, probably 90 to 95%, the only ones who aren't are people like Liz Cheney, Adam Kinzinger, and Ann Coulter. Yes, in case you haven't heard, Ann Coulter has long since turned her back on Donald Trump. At least she hasn't joined with the Democrats, but she is like a crazy ex-girlfriend who won't stop talking about it.
MAGA Republicans do not respect the Constitution. MAGA forces are determined to take this country backwards to an America where there is no right to choose, no right to privacy, no right to contraception, no right to marry who you love. They promote authoritarian leaders and they fan the flames of political violence that are a threat to our personal rights, to the pursuit of justice, to the rule of law, to the very soul of this country.
Tonight, he divided MAGA Republicans and mainstream Republicans, saying MAGA Republicans are not believing the rule of law. Is this the message the country needs to hear and force Republicans' hands to say, which kind of Republican are you?
Oh, I've picked a side. I've been on the same side since 2015 when I first started supporting Donald Trump. I'm a proud MAGA Republican. Make that an ultra MAGA Republican. Oh, by the way, save 20% off of my new ultra MAGA shirt.
No. No, I'm absolutely with you there, Snoopy. Any of the military under this administration, you know, we know what's going on with the military in England. It's exactly the same in America. You know, just imagine that was your dream since childhood and you went to cadet school and you joined the military and you went through that hard work and you earned that uniform and you earned your stripes or whatever. And you were standing there behind that bloke thinking, what a bullshitter. You know, all my mates back, all my working people back home fucking hate you and what you're doing to this nation. And I'm having to stand here and be part of this theatre. No, I should have actually said something about that because it's important. Absolutely shocking. Right. Before I go, I will try and stream later. I can't see me drinking at this party. I had a couple yesterday. That's me done for a couple of weeks. I am a writer. Please sign up to my Substack. Top link in the description. It's a very good way of supporting the channel. It's free, but it does support the channel. It's a bit convoluted, but it'll make sense in 5 years. Oh, yeah. When the novel's finished. November. I'm telling you, November. I'm talking to people about cover designs, if you must know. My editor's having a triple heart bypass. Will Self is name checking me in a piece of writing he's publishing. I want to thank everyone who donated. I want to thank the boy Cray and Rags, who for some reason isn't here, but it's like the first stream he's never been on. Maybe he watched my That's All Folks video and unsubscribed. Look after yourselves, people. If I don't stream later, and the chances of me not streaming later are very low. There's a bigger chance I will stream later. So look out for it. And I want to thank all of you lot for keep coming back here, for engaging in the chat, for being good sports about the video I made. Afterwards, I did think, oh, is that going to piss people off? But all the comments, there's plenty of them, where I took it in the good humour it was intended. And like I say, it was on the fly. I didn't intend, I just was going to say, sorry, I haven't been making too many streams lately. I've had no internet. But my mischievous little devil, Moloch, steady, came out and it all went catastrophe. Matt dropped £5 Canadian quids into Entropy and says, have it, Professor. Thank you, Matt. Machano Kushpanata Tutu. And for old time's sake, although it will possibly get the video blocked. Ludwig, thanks for the Ayrton Centre. Cheers for another Saturday corker, Chris. Much love, Scrubs. Much love to you, Ludwig. That's really appreciated. Here's some nostalgia to get you all back in the seat. This channel's going to ramp up a bit. I've been really busy with work and no internet. Oh, you know what's coming, you cheeky bastards. You know what that shadow means. Ta-da! Boom!
All the world loves a lover. All the girls in every land are meant to know. The joy of loving is to live in the world of mankind.
Hello, Ted Roach.
There's someone is waiting for you. Soon the world will be yours for a time. Music starts to play, night will turn to day. Darkness disappears when the one you love is near. You're in man come. All the world loves the lovers, all the girls in every land are meant to know. Joy of loving is to live in the world of mankind. There's a place that is waiting for you, a world where the best in life is free, where time is always spring, happiness is king. The dreams you dream come true when the one you love loves you. You're in mankind.
There you go, people. What a stream it's been. Old Phil Marshall, Nessa the old, she turned up. I actually stayed on topic. Yeah, weird, huh? And I will see you, if not later, tomorrow. Get that key change now.
All the world loves a lover. All the girls in every land are meant to know. Joy of loving is to live in the world of mankind.
Good gosh, it does bring back some very profound memories. Oh, good Lord. It was quite a time when the channel, the stream part of the channel was finding its identity, wasn't it? That was a real joy, people. 2.5 minutes off 3 hours. It's been a pleasure. Like I say, I'll probably see you later. If not, pray for me. I might end up like smothered in naked young women. And it's a dirty job, but some old bastard's got to do it. Hoita!